Hey yo, my name is Razor Ramon. I come from the gutter, Chico, but as you can see, I'm dripping in gold and I'm oozing machismo. And we are here to do a collab with Just Alyx of Alyx's World. And let me tell you something, Chico. The big man and the medium-sized man, if you're not here, we're gonna carve you up.
And this is A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy AJ, your girl B-Rad, Malibu, represent.
Stop it with that.
I love doing that. A&B Combos,
Wrestling
Edition. Man, I have been waiting on this for a minute. You've been holding me back.
How have I holding you?
I've had predictions to give.
Yes, that's true.
But first and foremost, I want to make sure that we're looking okay like always. I want to make sure we're sounding okay. We look good. We sound good. I think we fixed the blackout issue. We honed in on that last night.
Hold it.
I don't think it's going to happen again. This is our WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 predictions. It's a stacked event. I'm not loving it. All right. But I have some thoughts.
Yes, you do.
But more importantly, and we're going to bring him in just a minute. This is a brother that has been so important, influential to our channel. As you know, we are doing this collab with Just Alyx of Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you and for like us. So he had a prediction show yesterday with good mic work. If you haven't checked that out, go to his channel and do so. They had some opinions. I agree on some. And some I gotta disagree, homeboy.
Well, I'm not gonna lie and say I caught the show because I didn't, but I am glad that I'm gonna hear his predictions
Okay,
live.
let's pull the plug and let's go ahead.
I'd rather come in fresh, not knowing his predictions.
So we
I don't want a spoiler.
We are in agreement on some things, but we also are in stark contrast to some things.
And every time he tries to talk to me about it, I'm like, well, talk about it on the show.
I told you to hold me back. I told you, said he hold me back. So we want to give a few shouts. We don't want to spend too much time. Alyx is a busy man. We got a lot to get to. There's a lot of matches.
Area.
He is first in line with the fast pass. I appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Hey,
Anthony, we acknowledge you. It's good to see you in here. What up, Junior Dugan?
Hey.
Of course, we got the Nation of Domination. Good to see you in here. What up, Zay?
Hey, Zay.
Oh, Jedi Knight 88.
Jedi Knight 88.
What's up, Oos?
What's up?
Oh, we got Shayla in the house.
Hey, Shayla.
Jaden Winchester. Good to see you as always, Jaden.
See you, Jaden.
So kind to see you. We got Isaiah Smalls. Baby. Yeah. What's up, Isaiah? Good to see you as well. Welcome. Who else do we have in the house? We got Nico Thompson. What's going on, Nico? Yeah, we got some people in here. We want to talk about some things. Come on in. Plenty of room.
The water's just fine.
If you're new to this channel, we appreciate you stopping in. We're going to bring Just Alyx of Alyx's World in one hot second. Just a couple of quick shouts that I want to give to our cell world. Good to see you. It's good to see you, Sofi Dovey, the OG.
Yup.
Carlos Marenko. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Welcome,
good to
Carlos.
see you as well.
Hey, we're in here too. I saw
we are in here. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Stephen Tamores. Hey, what's going on? I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. Keep doing what you guys to put best smiles on people's faces. Roman Reigns is winning the Mania. Thanks to Randy the Rock or Jay White come out. Okay, you know what? You said some things.
Wow.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
that love.
Steven.
Ultra Shadow 97. I just saw you.
Hey.
Yeah, we gave some love to Savage Talks Wrestling earlier today. Jaden Winchester.
Hey, Kill Dixon.
What up, D Extreme Tate 824.
Hey, David Tate.
All right, folks, without further ado, and this is a good way to introduce him right here. This is the man, the myth, the legend. He's been in the game for a decade, y'all. We just babies, you know what I'm saying?
Just 3 years in, 3 years old.
We trying to come up. We want to get shredded like Just Alyx.
Just starting to walk. Just starting to walk.
You know, more shredded than a Julian salad, man. You know, so like the video, smash it, and without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Just Alyx of Alyx's World.
Oh man, we in the building. Do you feel it? Do you taste it? Let it overwhelm your senses.
Can you feel it? Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Oh my goodness. I am happy to finally be in the world of A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Thank y'all so much for bringing me here. I'm so excited.
No, it is our pleasure. We are honored to have you here. Thank you very, very much. Like I said earlier, we saw, well, at least I did. Somebody, I don't know. Somebody sleeping a little bit. I don't know what's going on over here. Good mic work. You had your prediction show. So let me ask you before we start getting into some things. Overall, how do you feel? How do you feel about going into this Mania season?
You know, that's an interesting question. On a scale of 1 to 10, I can give you a number. I think in terms of the hype, it's a 5. I think when it comes to the build, the excitement for WrestleMania this year, I ain't feeling it. And it's disappointing to me because this is supposed to be the Triple H regime, the Triple H era. And I loved Triple H's booking when he was doing NXT. When it comes to NXT TakeOver, he did not play any games. No games whatsoever. Every match had a purpose. Every character had a direction. Everybody was doing something. If you wasn't on the show, hey, you were still involved in something. I don't get that feeling for WrestleMania. But with that said, I will say, looking at the card, if I'm just going off of the card and the talent and the matches itself, I believe it or not, this is going to be one of the best top 10 WrestleManias of all time. And I truly believe that when it's all said and done.
Wow. Okay.
My man put a little tapatio on that one right there.
On there. Okay.
What? Okay. Well, you know what? Let's talk about it, Oos. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, let me get up the ticker. All right, let's get that ticker going, and let's just get into it. Hang on. Before I do, I want to see if some people said the Hypermania. Sophie Dopey, you're not really feel 7 out of 10. Okay, Oos. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, Tribal Chief, what's going on? Yeah, Alex, you're getting the love, man. I love this. All right, let's do this. I want to give my man some props. Right here. Let's start with the host. Okay. Let's start with the host. I heard a chuckle. And the reason I want to start with the host, because as you recall, once upon a time, brother, I did a little something backstage, dude. I thought there were no cameras, man. I said some things. Some things got out there, brother. And you know what they did? They made me the host of WrestleMania with Titus O'Neil, dude. And I felt some type of way about that.
Yeah, you did.
I felt some type of way about that. I still do. When it comes to The Miz, I was a big watcher of The Real World. Okay? Love me The Real World. Love me Road Rules. I still watch to this day. The Miz was somebody that, if you ever watched The Real World, he was always about pro wrestling. The Miz was a character he had since he was a kid. So for anybody that honestly says, you know what, this is all I've ever wanted to do, I have nothing but respect for that.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, respect is the number one thing in pro wrestling. And when he started in WWE, I think he competed in Tough Enough, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He had a real problem backstage. They wouldn't allow him to go in the dressing room for months. It was like rough.
Hazing. Yeah.
It was rough, but he earned his stripes. He's a multi-time champion. regardless of how we feel about him, I think he's earned the right to be called a WWE superstar. So I'm not mad at him hosting this. Even though he's not on the card, he's at least doing something. How do you feel about this?
With all due respect to Mike Manzanin, who, without question, I agree with everything that A just said. He is someone that was told he would never be anything, not just in WWE, but professional wrestling. He not only proved them wrong, he exceeded all of those expectations. He is a former WWE World Champion and a former WrestleMania main eventer. My friends, you have told everybody to shove it up the you-know-what. I can't cuss. I don't know if I can cuss on this show. So I won't. But you know what I mean? And I agree with you 1,000%. With that said, I don't know how to describe this without using certain words about Miz being a host, but
we respect it.
Yeah, let's just say I respect what you do, Miz, but take it or leave it as a host. Don't really care all that much about it. If it leads to something, great. But ultimately, hey, it's just one of those things that's just there just to be there. I don't even see him playing into anything that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't really thought anything of the host necessarily in the past either. I didn't think the Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan thing was good. I thought it was a weird combination. I thought it was for sure trying to let's get a black host in here to offset the fact that he, came out with the race, had the whole racist issue. So that felt very forced and it felt awkward. So, I feel like, to me, whatever, it's kind of like I could take it or leave it. I'm happy for Miz that he did overcome, because he really did get bullied in the WWE just because he decided to do reality TV before he came here. But that doesn't change the fact that, like, this is something he always wanted to do. Yeah. But back in those days, which is very different from Logan Paul, you know what I mean? Logan Paul didn't even know what wrestling was. And so that, this is completely different for me. For me, he just happened to do reality TV, and I don't feel like he should have been disrespected like that just because you happen to do something. You shouldn't always judge people on their past, you know what I mean? So
the thing I like about this more than anything, and we're going to move on, is the fact that he's a movie star. I mean, he is. I'm not like rock level movie star, but this is in Hollywood. So I think, I hope that they will play into that throughout this show. You know what I mean?
His
so I give him
Hollywood kind of theme. So it makes sense.
I give him that. But and to everybody in here right now, again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We have our channel mascot. You want to pick her up, say hi to Bone Crusher. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, here is our channel mascot, Bone Crusher, the fearless Shih Tzu Terrier. All right, she's a good girl. You want to say hi to the people? Yeah, she comes and goes as she pleases. We wanted to get some love. So to everybody in here, thank you guys so much. If you could please like the video. It's really important to us content creators. The more you like it, the more we recommend it out into the YouTube universe. We are going to try our best to get to the comments, but we have a lot of matches to get through. So we most likely, unlike our normal lives, we won't be interacting as much as we're going through this, but more so at the end. All right?
All right.
With that said, people, you know what? Let's start here. Let's start here. Let's go here. I'm gonna go right here. Right here. Ooh. We got Austin Theory. We got Mr. John Cena, the legend himself, the GOAT, future Hall of Famer coming back. One more match. We saw when he came back before, people razzed him a little bit, which he didn't really care about, but he can still go. Lay it on us.
But yeah.
Lay it on us. Guess first.
If I'm going to be completely honest with you, this is probably one of the easiest matches to predict, because if this was 10 years ago, it would still be one of the easiest matches to predict. It'd just be the other way around. John Cena, he's at that point of his career where he's only here to put over the talent. We all know that. We're all aware of that. We all accept that. I love the fact that John Cena is still doing his thing. I have no issues with him being Mr. Hollywood and still coming in to take some time to get back to the roster. I know some people don't like that. I personally think that's great. You want these wrestlers who are doing big things to then bring some of that back to WWE. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You don't want to confine these wrestlers and these talents to just WWE, the WWE glass ceiling. There's a bigger world out there. And if they can help elevate WWE by doing bigger things, I am never going to be against that.
Right.
I just feel like when it comes to this match, it's no different than when John Cena came back in 2017, buried Roman Reigns, and I mean destroyed Roman Reigns on the microphone, but then lost him at the pay-per-view. I see the same thing happening here with Austin Theory. He completely massacred him on the microphone weeks ago, and so he's going to give him his due back and have him beat him for the United States Championship. I don't see John Cena getting the victory over Austin Theory. I heard that prediction. I think you have too. It's just, this is Austin's show, and Austin is the future for WWE. How long that future is going to take for him to reach that point, I have no idea. But for sure, in my opinion, this is Austin's victory at WrestleMania.
All day, beat.
You know what? I would actually like to see the swerve on this. I agree with you as far as it seems so blatantly obvious, but I would like to see John Cena humble this man a little bit, and then they have to run it back and Austin have to win his title back. I think that would be a cool swerve because nobody is expecting that at all. And if they are, we're expecting it because we want to swerve, not because it just seems so obvious that that's what's happening, that he's putting him over, and he's been compared for so long, that we've been expecting this for so long, that I would just love to see the swerve. But because I think Vince is back there interfering, I think that this is going to be exactly what we expect it to be, and there's not going to be any surprises.
Yeah, you know what? I hear you, Alex. I hear you. I don't disagree with you. And I would say that if, in fact, Vince was not involved in the WWE in any way, shape, or form, this would for sure be John Cena all day. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is I mentioned it earlier. The one thing I'm kind of tired of in 2023 is formulaic pro wrestling.
Right. And
I understand that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I understand the old guys put the new guys over. And I'm fine with that to a point.
Yeah.
But I also don't like the 80s. You have the Brooklyn Brawler, jobber, that's just your job. We're going to bring in the big Braun Strowman. We're going to bring in the big, Nia Jax type people just to fight people like they did with Ryback.
Yeah.
And you fight these 2-3 guys it's like fighting a child.
Is that who you were thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, look at us with our little connection. Hey.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't show to me that you are a big, strong dude when you're beating somebody that's clearly not in your league. So I want to see the alternative. I want to see them think outside of this box. And I want to see a John Cena Rock situation where they run it back.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm not saying, obviously, John Cena's in a different place now than he was then. And he gave The Rock a lot of crap for going to Hollywood, and he had to backtrack. It's like, okay, I get it now.
It's the complete reversal.
I'm Mr. Hollywood. So here's what I'm saying. If Vince wasn't involved, I'd say it'd be John Cena. In my heart, I still want it to be. I still think Vince is involved. So if I had my way, I say Cena actually wins the title. They run it back at SummerSlam. Okay. And then Austin gets his come-ups, put the guy over, go on about your business, John. Nice seeing you. We'll see you next year.
But make him earn it. Don't just hand it to him.
Make him earn it. And I want to talk about make him earn it when we get to the Roman Reigns Cody match. I have some things about that. But that's what I personally would like to see. I would like to see that swerve because it's just like when Cody entered number 30. We all knew what was going to happen. I at least enter number 17. Give us that, I don't know, moment. Is he going to, he looks a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the edge of the seat situation. I don't like going into these things thinking it's a lock.
Right.
But I think because McMahon is involved, yeah, I do see Austin Theory retaining.
And I think what's interesting about what both of you said, one of the best runs for me in terms of John Cena was that US Open Challenge run in 2015. I loved every single thing about John Cena during that run. And honestly, if they want to revisit that, because remember, we're still in the rebuilding stages of WWE under Triple H. He has done everything he can to rebuild the United States Championship, the IC Championship. What better way to elevate that title than to put it back on John Cena? He has one more run to put over talent and then drop it to Austin Theory. I personally think that would be awesome.
It would.
I think you guys have, especially B, you have a point that this could probably be a swerve because Triple H loves them swerves, and this is the match to do it with, right? Because no one expects John Cena.
No one's expecting it.
No one's expecting it. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do something different, now is the time to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna ruffle some feathers either way.
Right.
You know, John Cena can take the loss all day.
Right.
He's not active on the roster like that anymore, so it's not an issue. But if my man is, if you still paying him to come back every now and then, just like Brock, you got to get some dubs.
Right.
You just gotta, and I think
Yeah,
that'll booster Austin Theory's stock, and I think that'll make that other pay-per-view that much more engaging. Like, wow, I can't believe he won. Okay, now let's see how they do this, and I'm okay if he drops the title at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I think either way, it's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna go with Austin Theory. I just feel
All right, so we're all in agreement.
Yeah,
that Austin is probably going to win, but it would be pretty cool if John Cena did win and they had to run it back.
right. I agree.
Minaj, we appreciate that. Some very interesting takes. All right. Now let's talk about this one. This one, I have a feeling you think that this is going to be whatever it's going to be.
Oh God!
I'm sorry to do it to you.
I think he fell.
Oh, wait.
But
Hold on.
I think this is going to be the match of the night, the match of the year.
What? Oh, okay. Wait. Time out.
This is Alex's bathroom break match.
Oh God! Look.
Lay it on us.
I gotta do it. Y'all did this to me. I'm here.
Uh-oh.
We here in A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. We gotta do it the right way, right?
Yes, sir.
I cannot believe of all the matches we could have done with Brock Lesnar, we did not do Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar 3.
Yeah.
That to me was the way to go. And I know we're talking about Brock and Omos, but the fact that Bobby Lashley is going to be slotted on Friday on SmackDown in some random Andre the Giant Battle Royal that no one asked for, no one cares about. This guy, to me, should, of all people, former world champion, he should be at WrestleMania. He should. He should. And to me, when you have someone like Bobby Lashley, who's as over and as awesome as he is, being, I guess, pushed aside by, no offense, Omos, and there's a term going around. If you don't like Omos, you're homophobia or something like that. It's whatever the hell these fans want to say. People who are fans of Omos are Homo sapiens, whatever. Congratulations.
That's hilarious.
It's funny, but I'm sorry. And I know we wanted to talk about that Battle Royal on Friday. The fact that LA Knight, is not going to be at WrestleMania. Bobby Lashley is not. I just think that's a crime. And it's one of those things where I look at Triple H and go, my dude, you could have done Bobby versus Brock, but we're getting Brock versus Omos. Woo! And I'm sorry. I just look at that match and I go, bathroom break, like B said. Bathroom break. Shoot. I can take a break. For real. That's just one of those things where I just go, if it's not 3 minutes, if it's more than 5, it's going to be one of the worst WrestleMania matches ever.
So let me ask you this question. Considering how the last couple of matches for Brock have ended, do you think we'll see something like that again?
Another DQ?
Ooh, I didn't think about that. I'm hoping not.
You think my man is going to get frustrated
Yeah.
And just
low blow it.
No, I'm hoping it's a clean finish. I'm hoping he picks up Omos, hits an F5, because that's what we're looking for, right? This is a Vince McMahon match, just so we're clear. Not just like figuratively. This is literally a Vince McMahon match.
Yeah.
It's all about the spectacle, the irresistible force versus the removable object.
Right.
And how crazy would it be if Brock picked up Omos and hit him with an F5? It's gonna be a moment, that's for sure, and that's why we're doing it. Honestly. That's it.
Yeah.
I think he can do it. Look, if John Cena can get up the Big Show, I'm fully confident that Brock can put up Omos.
Absolutely.
I'm fully confident in this. But your prediction for this match will be?
The Beast Brock Lesnar beats Omos.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
You know, it's funny because you would think that if they're trying to put Omos over as the giant of the show, and they're trying to give him any kind of stock, I mean, he hasn't won. What has he won? So you would think that they're trying to give him a win, and because Brock is a part-timer, they never seem to give him wins. But just like we were saying with John Cena, you can't just keep bringing Brock back at pay-per-view time to lose to people, although the audience doesn't seem to care. But then, like, at what point are you going to believe Brock is going to beat somebody? So I kind of feel like Brock at this point needs this win. Omos is just not going to get over. He's just not.
Here's what should have happened. I like your point in this. I do believe we should have had Brock Bobby part 3. They missed an opportunity with this whole Hurt Business situation because you had MVP trying to reopen the brand. He's got Cedric and Shelton back in it, but Bobby didn't want any part of that. Some way, somehow, there should have been a matchup between Omos and Bobby Lashley. Something should have went down. Something could have been written, right? So that you have Bobby just wreck Omos. You know, he'll get in his licks here and there, but ultimately beat Omos, beat him down bad, and then he goes in strong into Mania to face Brock Lesnar. And then that match, because of what happened the last couple times, should be a no DQ match. There needs to be a finish. Mm-hmm. That could have happened. That should have happened. Missed opportunity.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, but with that said, I think it's also a question of, because there's this talk about Brock, like he might be like stepping back for a bit. He's been part-time. I've always felt some type of way about that. You know that. And it goes into that part-time mentality, just like with Roman Reigns, just like with John Cena. I have issues because people are kind of all over the map with how that should be. Should Brock put Omos over? If he, in fact, is not going to be here in the long run. Is this going to be the last time we're going to see Brock all year? Is he going to come back again?
Let me just say this. As long as WWE continues to make the millions and millions of dollars that they are making on an annual basis, Brock will keep coming back as long as he keeps getting that sweet, sweet money. If you know what I mean. All right.
Then I say we are going to see what we should have seen with Bobby Lashley. I think we're going to see Brock get a little embarrassed. I think we're going to see him get a little frustrated. But ultimately, I do think we're going to see Suplex City. I think we're going to see that F5 that everybody will be like, oh my gosh, we're going to get that 3 count. It's going to be a wrap. I think Brock can still win.
So he's going to roid up right before he walks out?
I mean, he's not going to Goldberg and concuss himself. You know, you're not going to do all that. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for better than what we're anticipating from this match. And if I get that, I'll be satisfied. You know, like you said, if it goes 5 minutes, I'll be satisfied. I just wanted to, this is the match I just kind of want to get out of the way. But on paper, like you said, it shouldn't be like that. Like you have big guys like Andre and Paul White, Big Show, whatever. Like you've had these big guys.
But they had more. Oh well, Andre didn't really have more personality.
Well, it's not just personality, but I mean like athleticism. Like I expect a lot from these dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of how WWE has been for years.
The Great Khali
Right.
was unathletic.
Great Khali could barely move.
That's what I'm saying.
You know.
That's what I'm saying. The Giants, they just love their Giants. I mean, a giant is a spectacle. So they just love their Giants. And so, you know, you want to see a giant versus a beast. It's supposed to be, you know.
Well, let me tell you what I love. I love the super chat right here. Big super chat right here by the Three Kings. We appreciate you, Three Kings. Thank you very, very much. Circle message. I know people aren't high on Bray right now, but there's no way in hell you can tell me Omos was a better option for a WrestleMania match. Sigh.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it doesn't, the fact that Omos made it to WrestleMania and Bobby didn't is so
Can we talk about that?
crazy.
Look at this Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Let's go.
There are dudes on that roster line right there that should be in Mania.
Period.
Sure.
So, no disrespect to my man Omos, but no, player. And you're getting in here with Brock Lesnar, a man that defeated the Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak. This is what we're doing? This is what we're doing. See, this is the problem that I had with that whole Undertaker streak situation. Which Undertaker, you ask him, it was a mistake, but we're stuck with it.
Yep.
Okay? You made this man be the beast, right? You're gonna beat the man that was unbeatable for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Make him part-time, and now you're gonna put him in here with Omos. And his stock, quite frankly, it doesn't matter. People love Brock regardless. But you know what he's been doing these last couple of matches has just been crap.
You know,
And-
I think that, okay, so the rumor is that Brock didn't want to face Bray, which is why he ended up facing Omos, right?
Right.
But I think if he had not had a problem with that and he would have went on to face Bray, and it was Bobby going on to WrestleMania to fight whoever, they would have made sure that Brock ended up in WrestleMania. They would have made that happen. Vince would have made that happen. They're not making it happen for Bobby. So I feel like some kind of shenanigans should go down at the Andre Battle Royal that causes that match to come up for Bobby.
Right.
Yeah, I like the idea. I kind of floated this. I think LA Knight should be a part of Mania. I think Bobby Lashley should be a part of Mania. And what I think we should see is sort of a Sheamus Drew situation where we don't have a clear winner. Both hands are raised. Let's finish it at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Bad, you know, for the Andre the Giant, just boom, add it. I think that would be great because LA Knight, he's no easy win. People don't sleep on LA Knight. You know, I think that would be a great way to go. So I'm pretty sure that word gets back to Michael Cole. Michael Cole, get the jotting, okay? Pass it to H, make it happen.
I do want to ask one question before we move on, though, because
Yes,
I do
sir.
like that chat, and it got me thinking about Bray Wyatt and how much good faith, how hyped everybody was when he returned last year. How do y'all feel as fans of Bray Wyatt, knowing that there was so much promise for him when he returned, where we are now with everything involving Uncle Howdy and his multiple personalities and this Wyatt Six group, and how everything, in my personal opinion, has just been kind of disappointing, you know?
Yeah, whatever the direction was got switched up, and to me it felt like rewrites and it felt like interference. Whatever the original vision was, I feel like interference came along because it just started getting kind of murky.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's gone now to me shows me that I was right, that you know there was just interference because Vince never liked Bray's. He wanted to ruin Bray. He always wanted to go in different directions with Bray. He did bury Bray before, and the fact that it was starting to just kind of not make sense and be all over the place, and then he was just gone, to me says that he did it again. That's what I honestly think. And I know that there's people who say what they say about Bray, and it might be the mental illness thing. I have a heart because of my battle with mental illness for, you know, Bray with his battle. but the fact that to me, he is a genius. He is a creative genius. And sometimes it may be hard to keep up with because a lot of times crazy and genius go together. But I loved it, and as I saw it starting to kind of wane off and seem like it was getting interfered with and stuff, there was parts where, like, when they started bringing the house back, and you started seeing like him in there, and then like the eye in the door, it was kind of cool. I was like, okay, but it just, I don't know how they could possibly bring him back again or fix this, and I don't think that it will happen at this point. So I wish they would have just almost never have done it, than to get us that far into it and ruin it again and then take him away again.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with you. We were big fans of Bray Wyatt. We were fine with the Firefly Funhouse. We were fine with the whole thing with Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss's character just was floundering, had no sense of direction. We finally got something. We got a glimmer of just, I'm going to come in here. I'm not going to phone it in. Obviously, she had a health situation. She did the Masked Singer, so she took a little time. Everything seemed to be happening all at the same time and all at the wrong time. Yeah. When you were having this interaction with her and Howdy and whatever, and I was into it. But like you said, when he first premiered, and look, they put a lot of time into him coming up with all these clues and the White Rabbit and everything. They've done something. They've never really done that before. Mm-hmm. And so when you do that and you invest that kind of time, and that's the thing that, again, it has Vince McMahon written all over it. He was infamous for starting a storyline and then just dropping it the next week like it never happened.
Look what you did with Malachi Black. Malachi Black was in the middle of building a character, and then he was just gone.
Dropped. God.
Gone. Cut, thrown away.
Just cut, throw away. Like, wait, you were in the middle of telling us a story.
So let's NXT 2.0 this whole Bray Wyatt situation.
Oh.
And that's what he did. Let's be honest. Because when he came back, remember when he actually like came back? Yeah. And then you had the Firefly Funhouse music, but it was like, creepy, slow. It was dusty. That basically indicated, I'm saying this because I'm a film school graduate.
Yeah.
Okay. So I specifically, for years, dealt with formulating a story. This indicated that this was old and we're rising out from the ashes something new. And then you literally just went right back to it like it never died.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think you even said it, people said, there's no way you can bring back the Firefly Funhouse. There's no way you bring back The Fiend. Well, we were one step away.
We were one step away. I think that's what we would have seen next, was The Fiend.
And then he just poof, he's just gone. It's unsatisfying. Just like with, and we're getting off topic, we're gonna get back to this, but it's just like with Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Here we go.
You left, but it's like, okay, we get what was it, an Instagram message?
Yes.
And it's so unfulfilling. We like, tell us why. Now that you're gone, why exactly did you walk out? We're all guessing what exactly happened. Why did you walk out? What were you demanding that you couldn't get, that you refused to come back under Triple H? What was it? Because I personally think Naomi shot herself in the foot going out with Sasha.
Right.
Because Sasha's at New Japan Wrestling. Where's Naomi? At home?
And it's unfortunate because we're proponents for them, but we're also big proponents for this whole thing that we call pro wrestling. We were invested in the characters. We're invested in the story.
Yeah.
I made this comparison with Game of Thrones. She got me into that. And so many people were upset by the last, I think, season or 2 seasons, where it's like you just took these characters and then you immediately shifted who they were, who we grew to know them to be for the past 5 years.
Right. Just so you can wrap it up.
Just so you can wrap it up. So it's like you do the stuff that we get invested in. Look, we're doing a YouTube show talking about pro wrestling because we love it.
Yeah. And
then you take these characters and you take this very thing that we love and you, Vince McMahon, I'm going to kill my creation. And that's what he did. NXT 2.0 was, the wrestling itself was fine, but the idea behind it, he bastardized it. He did.
Sorry, he what?
He bastardized it.
Is that a word?
It's a word.
It actually is a word.
Okay.
He bastardized it. And they rolled it back, kind of kept it, and they made it make more sense. I think Carmelo Hayes said he wins that title, which I'm really curious about, and I think he will. He wins that title from Braun Breaker. He says, we're getting rid of that rainbow colored belt because that's like the last remnants.
Braun Breaker need to get rid of those rainbow stretch pants. What do you need to get rid of?
Jesus Christ.
Dang, dude. All right. You know what? We're getting off
topic. Let's go to the next one now.
Let's go to the
WrestleMania.
Next one. Let's see. What are we? Ooh, this one. Yeah. Okay, let's do this one right here. Right here. We got Becky Lynch, Lita, your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions with Trish Stratus. And you know I want to give me some Stratus fashion. Hi. Going against Damage Control's Bayley, Io Sky, Shippy Shirai, do not get me started, and Dakota Kai. My man Alex, I defer to you, sir.
Let me give you a visual of what this match is. On one side, you have literally the three GOATs, in my opinion, of WWE's entire history of women's wrestling. You got Trish, Lita, two women who literally defined what it means to be a female wrestler for an entire generation. An entire generation of female wrestlers. And I can say that because I had women plugging some of my interviews, if you don't mind, who are able to come on my channel and say just that. And then on the side of them, you got literally the top female wrestler today, Becky Lynch. This is the equivalent of having Michael Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron James teaming up on one team to take on the equivalent of Team Rocket, Damage Control over here, who can't get shiznit. Caught myself there. Done. I'm serious. Freaking Team Rocket, prepare for trouble and make for whatever the hell. They ain't got nothing going on. They cannot get the job done. They lose, and just when you think they could possibly win, they still lose. Yeah. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because we have three talents: Bayley, Io Shirai, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, who easily could be killing it by themselves. But they're stuck in this crappy group called Damage Control. You have no control over your careers. I agree with Becky Lynch on Raw when she ran down Io Sky, told her you haven't done anything since you got to the main roster, and she hasn't. Okay, she won the tag team titles for a cup of coffee. Nobody wants those creepy, ridiculous titles. Ask Naomi and Sasha how that worked out for them. Sorry. This is an easy pick for me. If Becky, Trish, and Lita don't win this match, I will be very surprised. That being said, I do want to get your opinions on this report. I don't know if it's true or not. There is a plan later on this year, and I guess this is kind of spoilery, but really, I don't really know, that Trish and Becky are going to have a program together at SummerSlam. And I feel like they could set that up with this match. But SummerSlam is a long way off. We can set it up a different way. So in my personal opinion, I'm going to go with the obvious choice. And Team Rocket will be blasting off again. Becky, Lita, and Trish are winning this match. That is my prediction.
Okay, well, this is not a title match. Dear?
Why isn't it a title match? Because it became a 3-on-3?
I mean, you got to pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
Okay, so I do see Trish turning and causing a loss. But if the belts are not involved right now, I don't know why that would necessarily happen at this moment. I mean, and I would like to see Damage Control broken up, but I haven't even seen a remnant of them starting to pretend like they have problems. Although sometimes that's the best way to do it. You know what I mean? Is when one person just, if Bayley was just like, y'all, you guys haven't done nothing, you know, whatever. But you know what? It's hard for me because I'm a fan of Lita back then. Lita keep coming out, moving in slow motion, and it looks awful. And I can't pretend like it doesn't, because I give Natty a hard time when Natty can't get it together. I give everybody else a hard time when they're moving in slow motion, when Shayna's running in slow motion like she got weights on her legs. And I feel like and I said the same thing actually about Tamina not too long ago. Like, I'm rooting for you. I'm so excited to see you. And then I see your match and I'm like, dude, you knew you were about to do this. Why are you doing cardio? Were you in the ring practicing for this? Because I feel like the ring rust shouldn't, unless it was really last minute, it shouldn't be, you shouldn't have that much ring rust. So to me, I think it's the titles. I mean, I would like to see Lita step it up in this match and show that she deserves that title, because right now I feel like she only has it because Becky won it for her. That's how I feel. And I would like to see her redeem that. I would like for her to step it up in this match and redeem that.
Who's winning?
I feel like Bayley and Damage Control need the win, though, because they haven't done nothing. Nothing.
So they winning. You gotta pick somebody.
All right, I'm gonna choose Bayley and Damage Control.
Interesting. Okay.
Just because they need it. Their story, their characters because they're Team Rocket. They are ruining these people's reputation completely.
I, on paper, agree with Alex that this should go to the champions and Trish.
Right.
Yeah.
However, like you said, the stock of Damage Control is plummeted. This is 1930s stock market crash.
Oh.
Everybody jumping out windows, killing themselves. That's where we are right now. It's crazy to me because you brought them back at a pay-per-view that we popped for.
We were like, woo!
And I feel like they need to get that redemption at a pay-per-view. And I think what's going to end up happening is one of two things. If my prediction is wrong and Damage Control loses, they got to split up. I got to see a frustrated Io and Dakota walking away from Bayley's direction has to change.
Right.
If my prediction is true and I'm calling it for Damage Control, I don't really care who gets the win. And I think it probably should be Bayley pinning Trish. Because if you are, in fact, going to set up a thing with Trish and Becky Lynch, I liked Becky Lynch. She was a little irritated at Miz during Miz TV. If you recall that on Raw, there was a little edge to her. She wasn't that happy-go-lucky Becky, big, whatever. I think we'll see a frustrated Becky Lynch at Trish Stratus.
Oh, I got you.
For losing on the grandest stage of them all. And I think that'd be the open. That makes sense to set them up for something at SummerSlam.
Well, I just want to say that I feel like the fact that they had to go back to the well with Lita and Trish to come out with Becky shows me what they think of their female roster right now.
Wow.
Because you only go back to the well because you can't, this is the opportunity for you to bring people up. That's what they've done with Mia Chim. She need to go back to Impact.
You said you didn't combine the names. Mia Chim,
whatever. I know. I don't know why they did that to her name, but she just need to go back to Impact because I enjoyed watching her there. Yeah. They brought her over and made us think that it was going to be all good, and they just have totally wasted her again and totally are using her to job. And I'm just so irritated that they started bringing people back, and we're thinking, oh, okay, this is going to look like something. But then they're showing me that since they're going back to the Lita and Trish thing, they're showing me that you're not invested in these women.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, look, we've got an Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
But they have the tag team thing.
Well, they do. But I'm saying, like, we're not seeing that. We have a whole crop of women.
You don't even have a tag team title match, though.
No, you don't. This is at Mania. There should be that.
Right. Instead of doing it for the belts at Mania, you put this in.
I'm saying, like,
doing a random match.
If you're going to be doing the guys like this, you should be doing the women the same way. You've got a whole crop of people back here at catering, just bench warming, doing nothing. And you threw in a whole bunch of guys randomly at the sort of the end of this to give them a trophy.
Yeah.
But what about the women? I've said this many times. We've said it many times. Invest in the women's division, pour into the women's division, get some training in the women's division, and just make some things happen. And I just do not understand why they don't. And I am upset at Stephanie because you literally were the woman in charge of the whole dang thing.
Wow.
And while it wasn't bad, I do not feel like she poured in and invested in the women like she should have as the woman boss.
Right.
And I will stand by that till the cows come home.
But you don't know how much power she had. She was still under her father.
No. He retired. I'm talking about when she took over.
When she took over and came
as
back.
CEO and co-chair.
That's when all the
she
women
was the
started
whole
coming
thing.
back.
Well, with Triple H. Why? With Triple H. But I'm saying you came back. So then what did you do?
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying damage control for the win.
That's fair. Let me just say real quickly to your statement about certain people not getting on the WrestleMania card, because that was a big talking point as well for a while. There's a lot of people who feel that there should be more people on this card. I feel what Triple H is doing, especially what we saw with Elimination Chamber. He is purposely making these cards shorter in terms of the matches, just like he did with NXT TakeOver, because he wants to give these matches more value and put more emphasis on these storylines. And when you do that, there are going to be some people who aren't going to get on who not going to get on the pay-per-views, let alone WrestleMania. And I believe, you know what? I'm okay with that. I think it pushes these wrestlers to step their game up. You got to do that sometimes. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I hope so. But that's my thing. Like the storyline, you gotta give us a reason to get there, not just because it's John Cena. Like I had an issue with the Undertaker coming back, a month before Mania. Just okay, who am I going to pick a fight with? Just so you can see me at Mania. There has to be a bigger.
Stop it.
There has to be something bigger for me to be invested in than just it being you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I want to see good stories. I want to see quality matches. I hope we do. Even Omos and Brock. I hope it's a quality match. But we will see. We will see. Now let's talk about a quality match. Let's talk about a quality match. The potential right here.
Ooh.
Intercontinental Championship. You got Gunther going against frenemies. Okay. Friends, enemies, friends. I don't know what they are right now. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath, and Sheamus, the Celtic warrior. I am excited for this because you've got three of the hardest hitters. You talk about people like, look, let's just go in here. Let's lay it in stiff and make it happen.
Yeah. Just
Alyx laid on the people.
I'm going to say this in front of the hundreds of people watching this live stream right now on A&B Combos Wrestling Edition.
Yes.
I am going to go on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb and predict this match will not only be one of the best matches of the weekend. I think this is going to be the best Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania since Roddy Piper and Bret Hart. I am confident in these three. I think Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew are going to beat the living piss out of each other, and it's going to be glorious for us to see.
Yeah.
And I feel like, as a man who loves strong style, Japanese strong style, whether it's Australian strong style, just strong style and wrestling, this is going to be the type of match that's going to make people feel like that is a wrestling match. And
Yes.
I think when it's all said and done, and this is something I'm curious to know how you guys feel about it, I do not think, although it looks like it's going to be Sheamus's moment, I don't think it is, because if Sheamus is going to beat Gunther, it should be one-on-one, period. End the story. It shouldn't be in the triple threat. There shouldn't be okay, well, Drew was involved, so he weak. No. If Gunther is going to lose, it should be one-on-one to Sheamus. So I think to help establish Gunther as a future opponent for the winner of the main event, spoiler alert, we'll get to that in a second, he needs his victory. And my question to you guys is, do you think Gunther should break the Honky Tonk Man's 504-day record as IC champ? Because for him to do that, he has to hold the belt to September. What do you guys feel about that?
I know some records are made to be broken. I know this. But I want to say no. I think some records should stand.
All right.
I do not believe that. I do not see Gunther holding this till September. I do not.
And I gotta disagree, homeboy. I feel like, I'm so ready for Sheamus to get some gold around his waist. I like when he has gold on him. I like everything about Sheamus these days. I think he's hilarious. I think that Gunther losing in a triple threat will kind of save him so he could still go on to another belt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not the championship belt, but to another belt.
Right.
And that will kind of still save face with him because he could just do the whole, whatever. But I would like to see it be Sheamus pinning Gunther because, or even, well, maybe not. I feel like every time Drew and Sheamus met, Sheamus came up short.
Yeah.
Even though it was an amazing match. And I feel like I really want this for Sheamus. He's given so much to this company for so long. And if Drew were to win it, or either way, if Sheamus loses, I don't feel like he's going to be cool with Drew. He's going to blame Drew. And then they're not going to be friends. And we really like them together more than apart. And I feel like if Sheamus wins it, that Drew will shake his hand and back and be like, congratulations. And then they could be friends again. So I'm going to say that I'm going to take Sheamus for the win.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? You make a good point. And I wouldn't mind seeing a one-on-one with Gunther and Sheamus. But
again.
Yeah. And to win the title. But I think, and to your point as well, I think what we're going to see here on the grandest stage, one of the things that Drew said that he felt like he didn't get was his WrestleMania moment. He won that title during COVID. It was an empty arena. It was a crazy time. Okay, yeah. I don't know if all of us kind of remember what that was like. It was a very surreal situation. He was champion, but it didn't have that weight to it, right?
Yeah.
I think he wants to give. Then this business is all about paying it forward to the next person. I think he wants to give Sheamus that WrestleMania moment. I really do. I think this is important to him. Staying in the kayfabe of this. I think Gunther is an undeniable champion. We know what he did in the UK. He's an amazing Intercontinental champion. But I think what we're going to see here is we're going to see not only Sheamus get his WrestleMania moment, I think we're going to see a Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior moment where he was immortalized. That's where he became the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
When he handed that belt to the Ultimate Warrior, hugged him out. I mean, it was like, you lost, but dude, like, I got to give it up to you.
Okay.
I think we will see that moment where Sheamus is looking at Drew. Drew's going to have the title. Drew's going to be just crushed, but he's going to hand it to his brother
and hug him
and hug it out. And congratulations. I think that is what we need to see. And I think it's fine. I think Gunther can take the hit.
We're agreeing on a lot today. That's unusual.
For now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here we go.
But I see your point. It's either way, that's just gonna be fun.
Oh, it's gonna be. I agree. It's gonna be the best.
This might be the match of the night. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
It might be. It might be. We have a super chat right here by Joe Davidian. Thank you very much, Joe. We appreciate you. Thank you for holding on. AB combos. Brock Lesnar wins and defeats Omos with MVP by submission move called guillotine choke for Omos to pass out because Brock has defense by MMA and UFC. We got a whole bunch of emojis in there. And I tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing a guillotine put on him. I really wouldn't.
I mean, that's a way to take anybody down.
I really wouldn't. I was a big fan of Undertaker's Hell's Gate. Loved Hell's Gate. I wanted to see blood come.
Oh, I'll never forget the first time we saw Roman do the guillotine to Braun Strowman.
Love it.
That we were like, what is happening right now?
Love it.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's the one thing I like with T. I want the Samoan spike. All right. I want larynxes crushed. I want you to go back to the days of your ancestors. You know what I'm talking about. We saw some Samoan spikes back in the day that crushed some larynxes and blood was spitting out. That's what I want to see.
Anyway.
Because I'm like that. Thank you very much, Joe Davidian. We appreciate that super chat very, very much. We've got some more comments we're going to get to, but you know what? We're not going in any particular order, kind of, sort of. We were saving the best for last, but I do want to get to this one right here. Bianca Belair, the EST, the greatest, the fastest, the strongest, against a new Asuka, a dark Asuka. Although she doesn't look dark. She kind of looks like she's doing a photo shoot in this, this picture. But I have my thoughts on this, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Just Alyx.
This is interesting because when I was doing my prediction video with Good Mic Work, we were split. We were split on this particular match, and he says Bianca all the way, because why would you not go with the EST? She is that one. She is that girl. She has been dominant as Raw Women's Champion for a full year. And in terms of the hype for this match, I'm not going to lie, there isn't a lot of hype that says she should drop that belt right now. With that said, if we're talking about Triple H and him rebuilding the women's division, his best project in terms of the women, yes, we've had Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, Becky. The best project that he has brought out of NXT has been Asuka, the dominant sawn-off machine who was undefeated for over 900 days. And ever since she lost to Charlotte, she hasn't been back there. He is trying to rebuild her, make her that monster. What better way to make that happen than for her to go to WrestleMania and beat Bianca Belair clean, a woman who's held that belt for over a year. So I agree with the chat. It is Asuka's time to break the negative WrestleMania streak, because she hasn't won a match at WrestleMania yet. That's what's really selling me on it. Nah, if she is going to be that one, she has to win at WrestleMania, and she is my pick to win this match.
Lay it on.
I'm undecided.
Really?
You're undecided.
I don't know how to go against Bianca. That is my girl. I love everything about her. Her strength is like unmatched with outside of Rhea. So my dream was to see her in Rhea, but then that didn't happen. And I know Asuka was that person, and I remember that run, and I'm like, who can beat her? But then they had her job. And it's so hard to get back in that mind frame after somebody jobs like that.
Yeah. Wow. He is stumped, y'all. Wow.
I really don't know. I have no idea who's gonna win this. Like, I can see Asuka winning it, but it's hard for me to see her EST lose the title because she's so good.
Well, let me sit on that for a minute. I'm gonna lay it out like this. Like she said, I think it's all fair to say we love us some Bianca. All right, but this ain't NXT Bianca.
Nope.
Okay, let's just keep it real. I want to see Asuka beat Bianca Belair clean for this title. We are getting back to that aggressive Asuka, that 900 day plus, that nobody's ready for Asuka. There's no way you're going to tell me, that you go through a character change like this. She disappeared for a minute. You go through a huge character change like this, and right now she's not even speaking. I follow her on YouTube. and her Kana-chan TV. She's not saying a word. So she is literally changed herself inside and out. And you're telling me that this change is going to lose at WrestleMania? No. She needs to win, and this needs to kind of anger Bianca. I'm not saying she needs to go full heel, but we need to get that edge, as Booker T like to say, we need to get that dirt back on Bianca.
Give us that attitude. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's the Bianca that we need to get back. Just like Raquel Gonzalez, okay? God love her. She's a freaking brick house, but she's over here smiling up a storm, just, queen waving to everybody. Who's the queen? You or Zelina? I don't know. I can't tell the difference.
It's a wet paper towel.
You dig what I'm saying? So I say Asuka all day, because if she doesn't and you did this change, then why do we do it? Why do we do it?
Right.
Bianca hasn't changed at all. She's been champion for a year. Yeah, sure, great. But I mean, let's be honest. Right now, it's been like a wet paper towel.
It has not.
It's just kind of there. It's a bounty one. It's a bounty paper towel. It holds a lot under the weight, but it ain't getting the job done.
Yes, it is. You know what? The reality is that it's hard for faces to get over like heels do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she is exciting. She is strong. She is athletic. She gets her gear, like, she's doing new and different stuff, looking fly. I mean, she's got the glasses. She's got the whole.
Okay, all that don't equal a win. Is she or is she not going to win at WrestleMania? That is the question on the table, madam.
I mean, I'm 60-40, 60 Asuka, 40 Bianca.
Fair enough. I'll take it.
All right, I like that. All right.
It's not like that.
Let me just say this. I think the reason why we're both just kind of not feeling Bianca's championship run, a good champion is also a representative of the division that she's running. You hear what I'm saying? I think this is going to get me some heat. Y'all can disagree with me all you want. And I understand that we are under a new regime, so everybody's thinking that everything we have to say is positive. I have not been a fan of the women's division that WWE has given us. And I feel like the women aren't stepping up. I feel like a lot of them are just kind of happy to be there. I know he brought a lot of women back. They're not really giving us much. You talked about Mia Yim, have not been feeling her. I've been very disappointed in what they've been doing with the women. And as a result, it makes Bianca and also Charlotte as another example not feel as important, because these women don't really feel like they want to be champion.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just feel like ultimately
because there's such a far disparity between like how many women in the locker room could really step to Bianca. It was Rhea and Asuka were really your options. Who else? You know what I mean? And so that just shows you how much they're investing in their women's division. Because it shouldn't be, when the men want to fight, you have all these men who come out and think that they're, you know what I mean? But you don't really have anybody who's near Charlotte or Bianca other than Asuka and Rhea.
Right.
What else did you have?
But and this is the problem. But again, this is why I take issue with this. Like some people were saying, hey, Stacey Keibler, she's in the Hall of Fame, and there's people in our comments last night that said she doesn't deserve it. She was just about TNA. And I'm like, we said, look, if you were watching back in the day, whether you were an exhibitionist or not, all you had to do week after week is like, look, go out here and just show your goods. And catcalling, I mean, that wasn't easy, for any of them. So I think getting through that era, God bless everybody that did, unscathed. And I think she absolutely deserves it. And having said that, I'm still very much a proponent of the women's division. If you want to do that, fine. If you want to wrestle, fine. If you want to be a Nikita Lyons and show a little bit, but still come in here and be like, look, I'm going to whip your butt. I'm all for it. But you got to give these people something to fight for.
Right.
That's what I've said time and time again. I know people feel some type of way about the women's tag team championships. The whole point, and you've said, many wrestlers said that I want to be in wrestling. You want to be
It's from CP, Sergio Aguilar.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Hey, Google
is doing something
and call.
that shouldn't be doing.
That was weird.
That was weird.
So you want to be a champion. So much like in AEW with Jade Cargill, Miss Undefeated streak over here, you have a mid-card championship. She holds that title as if she were Jamie Hayter.
Exactly.
As if she was the woman. And let's be perfectly honest here. She's built like a brick house. She's got the look. She's got the skills. But I'm not wowed by her in-ring skill. Okay? It's just okay. She's still, she's getting there. It's still a little green. But my point is, you got to give the women who, let's just be perfectly honest, will never become the champion. They will never be the Becky Lynches, the Baileys, the Charlottes, the Rondas. Don't get me started on her. But I'm saying they're not going to hold that title in their career while they're in WWE. They're just not going to do it.
Right.
So does that mean they don't deserve some gold? Tamina, it took her 10 years to become, bless you.
Thank you.
1/2, bless you, of a tag team? And that just sucks.
Yeah.
You got to give these ladies something to fight for. So if you're not, and like you said, if you just happen to be here, I think there are multiple facets here that are to blame, not just the ladies. I think it's all over the place. And I just feel like there needs to be a total, let's just do a redo. Let's pull it. Let's retrain it. Let's give you a title, and let's get some edge on this. And we just don't have it. And I don't feel it with Bianca. There's no edge right now. So I'm tired of her being champion. I'm tired.
Edge is going to be there.
Well, we could talk about that. But let's go over here and talk about this. Edge. There. You happy now?
Oh.
Let's talk about Edge. Let's talk about Finn Balor.
Ooh. Y'all feel that?
I feel another way about this, but I want to hear what you got to say about this, brother.
I just got goosebumps. Wait a minute. Okay.
Come on.
Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell.
Think about that.
Let me tell y'all something. I am so happy Triple H dropped that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I have been begging for us to get back to Hell in a Cell being relevant. Not only are we giving it to a proper feud, they are going back. This is legit. They're going back to the old school silver structure. It is literally back to Hell in a Cell between Edge and Demon Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday. I don't care. Whatever day it's on, I'm calling it. This is going to be one of the best matches of the weekend. Let me tell you why. As much as I don't enjoy Judgment Day, on top of the fact that Dominik is awesome, outside of Dominik, though, Judgment Day is just kind of, it's not one of those stables I'm going to look back on 10 years and go, one of the greatest of all time. It's just not, but that's okay. But
right.
The story between Finn and Edge, from the night Finn stole Judgment Day from Edge, made it his own group, to the time where he made Edge quit, and then Rhea Ripley hit his wife with a concerto, to Edge entering the Rumble, to that tag match at Chamber. The story between these two has been pretty solid. I gotta say it. Like, these guys have good chemistry, and this feels like a feud that warrants Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
and the fact that we're gonna add the Demon, oh man, and the Demon desperately needs a revamp after what happened between him and Roman Reigns. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to forget that ever happened. But this is, and someone said in the live chat, this might be a match of the year contender because of who's in it, because of what it means. And if it was up to me, I don't know if it's going to be the case. I would have Demon Finn Balor, go over Edge. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I feel like if this is going to be the end of Judgment Day, Edge has to put the stake in the heart. And so my heart says Demon Finn Balor, but I'm going to predict that Edge gets the victory here. And especially knowing that Edge is going to retire sometime this year. Is, when they have whatever month they're going to be in Canada, whatever month that is, that will be his last match. I think he should get one last victory at WrestleMania. What do y'all think?
I mean, I agree. I think Edge is going to take it. I think that they need to let this come full circle, that they need to give closure to the story. I think Finn Balor started it and Edge needs to finish it. Would you like the Judgment Day had Edge had stayed in it, or you just never liked it anyway?
I've just never been a fan of it. It just never really became something that I was, looking forward to every single week, honestly.
That is really interesting. I am a huge fan of Damian Priest, a huge Edge fan, and a huge Rhea Ripley fan. So for me, it was just like the purple. That's the purple right there. Yeah. The perfect menage a trois of like, I just loved it. And then for them to remove Edge so soon was just insane to me. And I really couldn't see how Dom was going to fit in there. I could not wrap my brain around that. I couldn't. And he went from being this little kid that was up under his dad, who was so innocent, to being what he is. And I'm so proud of him. I really did not have that faith in him. And I love what's going on with him and Rhea. I know you don't, but I do. And I think that, to me, Finn is the most unexciting part of Judgment Day to me. And just because I'm such a huge Damian Priest, and I really think Damian Priest is going to go far. I really do.
Right.
And I like Finn Bálor, but I just kind of feel like these younger pups really need to be elevated. And I feel like, he's using his weight to try and bring them up. But I don't know,
you have a victor in this.
I still am just happy about that. But I still Edge. You
got Edge.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I get my prediction, I want to go ahead and acknowledge the Three Kings super chat right here. King Rocket blasting off again. Thank you, Three Kings. We appreciate that. And again, I know we've got people in the chat, and I apologize. We're not interacting as much as we normally would. We have a lot to get to, but we will interact with you a little more towards the end.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody that has joined us. Please hit that like button.
Yes.
We are going strong, and we are very appreciative of that. With that said,
there it is.
I think this is going to play, if we're talking the long game, I think this is going to play into the bigger picture of the Judgment Day. And I'm saying that with this match. I'm saying that with Dom. I'm saying that with what we're going to talk about next with Rhea Ripley. Because you had the Judgment Day. Honestly, they were the Raw Schism. Okay? For anybody who watches NXT, they were the Raw Schism. And then they dropped their leader, got a new leader in. Oh, we don't have a leader. Okay, we're just 4 roots, 1 tree. That's basically what they were saying they were, right? So you have somebody that replaced essentially the guy that started this group in the first place. You need to have this come-ups. I really appreciated the fact that they brought Beth Phoenix back, because I don't know how many times you're going to have Rhea putting your hand on this man, and this lady's just not going to do nothing about it.
Right.
I still feel unsatisfied with that, but that's a whole other thing. I hope we get that again. But I think this is going to play into the long game if the Judgment Day will remain intact. And that's the question that I'm just not clear on. If the Judgment Day is to remain intact as they are and going forward, because right now I don't feel like they're doing much of anything with any of them as a group. They've got their own little individual things going on. Damian, not so much him.
Yeah, they're not doing nothing with Damian.
I think Edge needs this. I think he needs this victory. Mm-hmm. I think in the storyline, he definitely needs his justice. Okay, yeah. He was unceremoniously booted, and I cannot believe that he will come out of retirement just to lose. Right. So I think he needs to get the win, but I think about what we're looking at for Judgment Day overall, right? So I'm saying Edge is going to get the win on this. And I want to go to the next one right here, because this is, to me, probably the most important thing as far as Judgment Day goes. Because let's be honest, out of Judgment Day, the one person that has been at the forefront has been Rhea Ripley. Mm-hmm. She's slamming dudes.
I feel like she's the leader of that group.
But there is no leader.
No, but if there was, I feel like it's her.
So you had this whole thing with Dom and Ray and everything. So they've been really at the forefront. Finn's kind of not so much. Damian, whatever. He's jocking my style. I'll talk to you about that later, Damian, when I see you at the Hall of Fame. But This to me was a shock when she chose to go against Charlotte instead of Bianca.
Oh,
Belair.
heck yeah. I think all of us
Yeah.
were shocked.
So this is where I'm getting at with the long game of the Judgment Day. I understand we still have a brand split, even though people pop on whatever show they want nowadays. But technically, there's still a brand split. I am saying Asuka is going to win against Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. We saw a title switch with Charlotte and Becky. I do not expect that to happen here. So I'm not quite clear on why. And I want to get to your, I want to say this and then I want to get your prediction on this.
Right.
I'm not quite clear on why you're going to have Rhea Ripley beat Charlotte, regardless of their 3-year-ago history, for a SmackDown championship. Does that mean that we're breaking up the Judgment Day?
Yeah, because she doesn't go there.
And you
Right.
don't go there.
Right.
And you're now going to be on SmackDown? Is the entire Judgment Day going over to SmackDown? I'm not really sure, and I want to say something overall because people have said, I've heard something in the comments that every title is going to change. This is it for the tribal chief and the entire bloodline. So I'm like, are we going to have a WrestleMania where every title changes, the entire bloodline collapses? Is that what this whole Mania season is supposed to be? I have a hard time with it. I have a hard time accepting the fact that both women's champions are going to lose their titles. It's just not setting right. And I'm not giving my prediction yet. I'll wait till last. And I'm saying this to say, looking at Rhea's promos that she's been giving, it reminds me of when Shawn Michaels was doing that promo against The Undertaker.
Ooh.
I gotta beat Charlotte. I gotta win this. I need that. You don't cut promos like that, Rhea. You don't. I've watched you. I've listened to you. This is not the promos that you cut. This is not the promos from somebody that believes that they're going to win. You sound like a petulant child that feels like I need to do this. Like you're, I'm a bad guy and I just need the victory. This is not Rhea Ripley. So this is what I'm saying about the stark change in character of Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense to me. My soul is not settled. How do you feel about it?
You know, you make a lot of good points about the idea of Judgment Day, you know, winning these matches and there being implications following their wins that wouldn't make much sense for the group. Because if Judgment Day is a Raw group and she wins the SmackDown title, what happens? That's a good question. And hopefully Triple H and the creative writers can give us something to chew on when it comes to that. But this is what I will say when it comes to Rhea Ripley. Over the last year or so, this company has done everything possible to let you know this woman is going to do big things for WWE.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not just talking about on screen. I don't know if you've been paying attention to her media appearances. She is everywhere. Like when we're talking about the people that WWE goes to sell the events, to do all the medias, the main eventers, the Roman Reigns, the Cody Rhodes, and all them, Rhea Ripley is right there next to them selling the events. She is everywhere. Right. I don't know if you heard the story about the autograph BS, by the way.
Yes.
That we can do another stream about that, but she's everywhere. They had this woman beating up grown ass men. They had this woman pick up Luke Gallows, who is 6'7", 300 pounds, and slam him like he was nothing. They had this woman in the ring, what was it, Akira Tozawa, get a clean victory over Akira Tozawa. They are telling you this is the new, I don't want to compare her to China, but you know what? If there's ever someone to compare to her, Rhea Ripley would be that woman. And so if you are going to tell me, to sell us on this idea that Rhea Ripley is the new face of the women's division, she has to, and I mean has to, go into WrestleMania and give Charlotte that 1, 2, 3, something she has yet to do. She has never, ever beaten Charlotte in any capacity. It has to be a 1, 2, 3 clean victory. If it was up to me, this would be very similar to John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam 2014. I would have Rhea go in there and absolutely obliterate Charlotte without question, because it needs to be that way. If Rhea Ripley is that woman, then she has to do that. And you know what, A and B, I'm calling it. It is Rhea's time, and she will beat the Queen at WrestleMania. Woo! Charlotte,
I hear you. We're going to let B give her prediction. And I agree with you in that they have built her up, but it was just like Bray Wyatt. It started off this way, and all of a sudden, it ended this way. And I felt that way the second when, because I said there's got to be some face-to-face interaction. You had Dom show up, you had Rhea show up, talking to Charlotte, and then you had Dom pulling Rhea back. When that happened, I was like, hold up here, player. What is this? Step aside, boy. Let the grown folks speak. You know what I'm saying? So then I think somebody's like, you know what? That looked bad. Let's have you guys scrap the next week. Something changed.
Right.
Something's in the air. Something's not right. Something's not right.
So let's just say this. I would say out of all of the female wrestlers, Rhea is my number one right now. Absolutely. I love Rhea. I've loved her from the first moment I saw her at NXT. I loved her. Her match with Raquel on her way out of NXT is one of the baddest matches I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they can't figure out Raquel is so sad, but their rivalry was amazing. And when she won the Royal Rumble, I was like, she's going to take that title from Bianca. Right. That is what I thought. And then the minute she chose Charlotte, I was like, her? And beyond Charlotte just being as seasoned as she is, I would pick Rhea, except for Rhea made a comment that will not leave my mind. Mm-hmm. Okay. She said that everybody thought I was going to pick Bianca, and I'm going to get back to that. But right now, it's, my time with Charlotte, and I'm like, you're going to get back to that. So you are going back to Raw, but with the wait, what? So when she said that just, I keep hearing that in my brain. You're going to get back to Bianca on Raw.
That's what I'm saying.
So that made me think, I felt that like that comment was out of place for somebody who would be then going to SmackDown. That comment made me go, oh, maybe not. It's like
Samoa Joe being the Samoan bulldozer that he is. All of a sudden, just like, I don't know. We'll see Darby Allin, maybe next time. Or Wardlow, hey, bro, I'll catch you down the road. That would be a stark contrast into what we know Samoa Joe to be. And if we saw that on AEW Dynamite, we'd be like, hold up, why is he talking like that? So that's what I'm saying with Rhea Ripley. Her comments are not matching up with the powerhouse Hobbs, if you will, that we've seen her be for the last year. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm going Charlotte all day. It should be Rhea.
It should be Rhea.
It should be Rhea.
But I think it is going to be Charlotte, just based on the stuff you said and based on the comments she made. When I'm so confused, I don't think it's going to be Rhea, but I'm very confused as to why they did it this way. I don't know why they didn't have her go on to face Bianca. We all want to see that match. Everybody wants to see Bianca and Rhea. Are you kidding me? Get those powerhouses together. And then it makes sense for you to give her which is why I'm so confused about her in Asuka, because I thought Bianca was going to lose it to Rhea. So then I guess it makes sense to think she's going to lose it to Asuka unless she holds on to it and Rhea does not win to Charlotte and comes back, and then she goes after that title because she goes there.
Yeah, because let's be honest. They're not, no matter what the woman, they're not going to make them a Universal Champion. They're just not. They're not going to make them a Raw and SmackDown champion at the same time. Well, I mean, it's kind of happened. But, I mean, basically, it's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen with Rhea.
I mean,
so you're not going to win the SmackDown Women's Championship and go over here to Raw like, I won this, now I want yours. That's just strange and out of character.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we're talking long game here. What's the long game with the Judgment Day, and what's the long game with the women's division? Are you really going to have both of your women drop their titles at WrestleMania? And we're going to get to this, and we're going to have the bloodline. It just, I don't know.
That's a lot. That's a lot to happen at one night, you know?
It is.
I don't know. But let's talk about this, because the final, I guess if you will, Judgment Day match. This thing that people are all kinds of invested in. My son Dominik, you made me do this. I didn't want to hit you, mijo. But I did, and I loved it. Rey Mysterio going against Dom. Pushed him to it. Called his mother out, said, "Shut up, Mom."
There's nobody in the world who's well, I can't say that. But when you're doing the angle of a disrespectful child to their parent, like,
So what do you think? Lay it on us, Just Alyx.
I think you both can agree with me when I say this. When it comes to the build for WrestleMania, and I've said it before, the hype isn't there. One thing is undisputable. This is without question one of the best built WrestleMania matches they have done in a long time. And it's simple. It's easy. Dom felt disrespected, underappreciated, overlooked for so long, for years while working with Rey. Finally blew up at Clash of the Castle, kicked Edge where, the sun don't shine, and clotheslined his father. And for the longest time, almost 6 months, Rey didn't put one finger on Dom. And that's the build. Yeah. That's all they did. Rey spent 6 months not wanting to touch his son. And people were begging for Rey. My dude, just a slap. Can we get something? Please. Can you do anything to Dom? He is just running over you, and he is a son of a you-know-what. And it's crazy to me how much Latino heat our boy Dom has gotten. And he is easily one of the best heels we've had in a long, long time. And the night Dom finally got punched, which was last Friday, by Rey. You saw that crowd reaction, right? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. That is what good storytelling
does. We all were like, finally. But because I was getting kind of worried. I was getting kind of scared, like, well, damn, we're getting really close to WrestleMania. Like, we need to get this match set. And I was thinking, man, the only way they were going to do this is if Dom ruins Rey's induction ceremony, which would be, that's what he was thinking was going to happen.
I'm still hoping for it. I'm still hoping for something.
He can still do it. But now that we know the match is happening, and we're really, really pushing this match as like father versus son, this reminds me of Brett versus Owen from WrestleMania. I believe it's 10, and Brett did the same thing. Matter of fact, Undertaker versus Kane is the exact same way from WrestleMania 14. He didn't want to fight him, but then when he had to, they went out there and they had one of the best opening matches that we've ever seen. But Owen beat Brett.
Yeah.
So that brings me to my prediction. Do we have Dom pulling Owen on Brett and have him beat his father after all of this? After going through all of this, do we keep the heat on Dom and have him beat Rey? Or does Rey get his comeuppance? And I sat on this for a while before doing this. And with good mic work, I just came to the conclusion that, you know what? Rey needs to go ahead and get his comeuppance. That just feels right. It feels right for Rey to beat his son right now. So I'm going to stick to that. I think Rey Mysterio finally gives his son the whooping he hasn't gotten when he was a child. Let's do it.
Totally agreed. I mean, especially at the point where you brought your mom and your sister into this, and we need that to be made right. We need it to be made right. But I absolutely need Vicky Guerrero to come out. I need her to come out in his corner. I really do.
She can do it. Look,
she's
come out to Ed's music. AEW. Come out with Vicky Guerrero. Come out in the lowrider. This is WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
If you were ever to do it, this is the time.
Absolutely.
You said it. I didn't want to say it. You said it, Dom. So make it happen, Captain.
Mhm.
That would just, I mean, that would set the stage for that heat like never before.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Mhm.
With all that said, Ray's getting his come-ups at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Therefore, I do not believe
Oh.
that he will get his come-ups in this match
You gonna put
against
his son over?
Dom.
Wow.
I do not believe it.
That is shocking on me too.
He should, but I think Dom is going to win.
Wow.
Wow.
Dom is going to win.
Because at least one member of the Judgment Day has to win?
I think not only, I think for sure that. I also, and I hope Damian Priest gets involved in some way. We get Santos coming out. I still don't love the whole Legato face thing.
Yeah.
I just don't. They're better at heels, but I think I want to see them come out. They get a little WrestleMania moment. Cool, awesome, great. Then it's just Mysterio versus Mysterio. And it's a clean win. And they go to separate ways. Look, he switched brands. He did a whole thing. I'm going to quit. I can't. And Triple X like, let me talk to you. Come in the office. Let me talk to you.
What does that mean for Ray? He can't hold his head up high ever again in WWE?
He ran. He ran 4 nights down the road because he didn't want anything to do with this. And they said
But
they kept
now
coming
that
back.
he's here defending his wife's honor, he should not go home with his tail between his legs.
I know. But this is what I'm talking about, the swerve.
Yeah.
Triple H loves the swerve. You're getting your come-ups with the Hall of Fame.
I mean, we would
if
feel
he
some type of way.
wasn't being inducted, I would say Ray all day.
But you think since he's getting that.
He's getting that moment, and now he's going to put over the young pup.
I mean, ultimately, that your dream is to put your son over. You're on your way out. He's on his way up. So absolutely, on the back end of it, that's fine. But that doesn't give any of us closure.
Well, we know it's going to be a great match, but I'm saying we started this live stream saying the whole purpose of Cena being in this match with Theory is to put him over.
Yeah, he's going to put his son over.
He's now entering to the Hall of Fame. You're an active member on the roster, but you're entering to the Hall of Fame. You're literally one step away, just like Edge, from going part-time. Your career is sunsetting. We got the pop that we wanted with the punch. You get in the Hall of Fame ring, but I think his son is coming up.
Wow. All right.
I think what you just said here, what's going to make it interesting, if we do that, he's going to have a ton of heat on him, because that means he didn't get his whooping, so he's going to keep that heat. And would you, just one question before we move on, would you be comfortable putting a championship on Dom if we do that, by the way?
What championship are we talking about?
Why not the United States title?
I mean, he's definitely starting to step it up. When he first joined the Judgment Day, it was cringe every time he entered the ring.
Right.
It was I don't even know what he was there for. He would just get thrown around, and then he would come in and do 1 or 2 moves. You could tell that Rhea Ripley is working with him in the ring behind the scenes, because he really is showing and it's starting to pay off.
Right.
I do see that in his future. I don't know how soon in his future. I do see that in his future, though.
I see him being a future champion. I think it's going to be a good match. We know Ray and the skill set that he has. Dom is not to his skill level yet. He's improved tremendously. So I have no doubt that this match is going to be good. I think we're going to see a very good match between father and son.
Right.
But also at the end of the day, and talking about championship, this also goes to say with Judgment Day, even though this doesn't feel like a Judgment Day thing, it's more of a Mysterio thing. Going back to Rhea for a hot second, if there is no leader and the Judgment Day will remain intact, are you telling me now that Rhea will win, be the champion? Because by default, you got to be the leader if you're the champion. You're just the leader of the pack. So out of Judgment Day, the only one that's going to have a belt is going to be Rhea Ripley.
I would love to see a faction that has just a strong woman leader. with 3 strong men behind her.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. No,
I'm saying
love
that's
to
not
see
what
it.
this group has been billed to be.
Well, things change, baby.
That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
So I think out of the Judgment Day matches, the only one that's going to get that victory is going to be Dom. I think all the matches will be fantastic, but the hand raise will be Dom.
Fair enough.
Let's see.
So let's talk about this right here. This is one I'm kind of interested in. We saw a little something go down. I still don't know how I feel about it. We got this tag team situation. We got the Street Profits, Tez, Dawkins. You got this group that was put together, honestly, based on some nonsensical comments made by Braun Strowman.
But it's come out good.
They seem to be a really good team. Ricochet, Braun Strowman on the other side of the aisle, a team I was never about. As good as they are in the ring, and they are skilled. I just didn't like the gimmick until Valhalla appeared and got dark and it got real. And I felt it with the Viking Raiders going against Sheesh, thank you. Shorty G, Jack Gable, and Otis. My man, Just Alyx. And I got to ask you this question. Will Maxine Dupree play a role in this match? Because if you watch what happened on Raw, she was backstage looking at her man.
She did not like when Chad Gable kissed him on the cheek. It was so weird. I'm like,
looking at her man. As a matter of fact, hang on. She was looking at her man because she liked that body by steak. You understand? She liked that body by steak. So is Maxine Dupree going to play a role? Are the Maxim Male models going to have a little WrestleMania moment? I defer to you, sir.
I think when it comes to matches like this, you can only expect it to just be a crazy car crash type of match, especially when it involves these men, this many people in the match. I just feel like when it comes to Maxine Dupree and the Maximum Male models, this whole Ortiz, is that what we're calling it? Ortiz storyline. I would expect it to have something to play. It does play into this, especially with it being the type of story that it is. Unfortunately, that would kind of bother me because I kind of want Alpha Academy to win this. I want them to get a shot at them tag team titles. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. So that eliminates them if we're going to play into the Maximum Male Model storyline. I do not see Ricochet and Braun doing much other than just to be in the match and have some crazy spots. I don't know about y'all. I like the Street Profits. I am all for a Montez Ford singles run. I am there. I'm ready. He's been ready for it for the longest time. I think we should move on from the Street Profits. No offense to Angelo Dawkins. Montez Ford is a main event player. We need to start pushing him as one. That's just my personal opinion. And by process of elimination, that leaves the Viking Raiders, quite frankly. And spoiler alert to the tag team match, quite frankly, if you're going to have the winners of that match fight anybody, it should be a team with heels. And if we're not going to do Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders is the next best thing. So that's the reason I'm picking the Viking Raiders. What do y'all think?
That makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I like Braun and Ricochet together, and I think they between Braun's crazy strength and Ricochet's amazing moves and agility, I think that I love watching them together, but I don't know that they would actually get a push like that. I don't know if that's what they're doing. And I agree with you as far as that it will need to be heels down the line. It's hard because I feel like we've seen the Street Profits in person fight the Usos, and they are amazing. Both of them are amazing. And I do think that at some point Tez is going to get that singles run, and I know they've teased it already. I don't know when they're going to do that, but I wouldn't mind seeing them have some gold again. But the Viking Raiders is getting a push. They are getting a push as a very dominant not to be messed with team, and I think you're right. I think that they may pull this victory out.
There we go.
So you're saying Black and Raiders are going to win?
I think so.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree,
What?
and I'm going to agree
Look at
because
us.
they got that loss on Raw. They got the
Gotcha.
loss on Raw. This is about stock. I realize the Street Profits are up and all that, and that's all well and good. We just saw it, basically, and we saw who won. I cannot believe they're going to win again.
Right.
I think it's going to be a great match. I think we're going to see some amazing skills, but what are we talking about here? Again, we're talking about a group that was repackaged, 2-3 times?
Yep.
In different ways as the Viking Raiders. We have this whole thing with Chad and Otis and Maxine and whatever's going on over there. Not really much going on this side of the aisle, except just two teams just kind of doing whatever they're doing. Again, we have the tag team title belts held hostage by the Usos. We're going to get to that in just a second. So if you don't have a title to fight for, then what are we doing?
Right.
So if we're going to have a situation where the Usos are going to drop the titles over here, then these other teams will now have a shot. Because the bloodline has been it. They've held all the gold on both brands for the longest time. And you got to give these people something to fight for. The fact that they already won over here, I'm saying Alpha Academy and Viking Raiders are your victors in this matchup.
Wow.
We are all in agreement.
You gotta be, because again, we're talking about stock.
Right.
We're talking about stock, and I think these are the team that was really shocking to me was Braun and Ricochet.
Yeah.
I at first I'm just like, what is this weird mismatch situation? But okay, obviously you did it because of what you said. But turns out they're actually really good together.
Yeah, they do some cool stuff.
You know, they're really good. Braun is looking good. Ricochet's looking good. We haven't seen Ricochet really do much of anything. And Braun really hasn't had much of a storyline.
Since he's come back, yeah.
You know, since he's come back. So it's fine. The Street Profits, I'm fine if Montez goes solo. I would hate to see it because I don't know what's going to happen with Angelo.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't fall off. He's good.
I hate to see this be a rocker situation, and then he just Marty Jannetty'd on up out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would kind of suck. But
I think I'm more confident in my pick as well, because I know they're getting ready to bring up. I heard something about them bringing up the Creed, some NXT, and this report I just read too is, I hope it's true. It hasn't been confirmed by Fightful yet, but there are talks of reuniting DIY, which is, of course, Johnny Wrestling and Tommaso Ciampa coming back together. That would be a hell of a reunion on the main roster. How do y'all feel about a DIY reunion?
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that, but I don't. Johnny Wrestling hasn't wowed me since.
Really?
He hasn't wowed me since he's been back. Maybe I'm really disappointed at how everything went down at his house. I'm not big on somebody not being able, like, getting punked out in front of their own family at their house. Like, I have a weird thing about that, and I just that left a bad taste in my mouth. But hopefully, he will redeem himself at the pay-per-view. That would be great. But yeah, I mean, you know. Tommaso, though, I mean, him being Mrs. Lackey was whack.
Right.
That was whack.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be perfectly honest. We loved the fact that when we saw Gargano show up in Raw, and it was great. And what happened? Eventually, Candice LeRae, Dex, the band got brought back together again. Why? Because individually, it just wasn't cutting it on the main roster. That's just facts. Individually, you're all fine. But individually, it just wasn't hitting. You show up on NXT, and the crowd went nuts.
Yeah.
The roof blew off the joint, and it's just like, we're back home. That is very, very telling. The same with Ciampa. I loved him and Thatcher as a team. I love that stiff, like you said, I love that stiff hitting style. I was a big fan of Thatcher. They were on all cylinders in NXT. On Raw, Ciampa, not so much. Not so much. Again, it's just this weird, we love everything about you in NXT. We're going to bring on the Raw roster or the SmackDown roster, and we're going to pour a little water on this fire and just dim it down. And we get a stunted version.
But maybe that's why the reunion is what's needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I would be for it if we get the NXT ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
the NXT versions of
got
them. You know, not what we've seen. So if they do it, I'm all about it. Richie Bailey with a big super chat right here. Ladies and gentlemen, super chat champion. Show some love to him. And again, Dro, just so you know, we did see your super chat and we did comment on it. But Richie Bailey, in my opinion, somebody in this Hell in a Cell match needs to get some color. As much as they built this rivalry up, I just think some blood would be appropriate. They probably won't do that though. What do you guys think?
Wow.
I think there will be some blood.
Oh, well, I know. I mean, Triple H, right? He made some thoughts on the whole blood thing. I mean, he built a career on it. You can see it on his forehead.
Right.
What do you think, Alex?
If I ever get a chance to go to one of these media scrums, that's going to be the question I ask. I will straight up ask about color and wrestling and where they sit. As for this weekend, oh man. So here's what I will say. I do think we're going to get blood. I do think we're going to see some color. I don't think it's going to be in Hell in a Cell, and that's the match that needs it most. I think the match we're going to see color in is the main event. That's involving Cody and Roman. And when we get to the match, I'll explain why. If any match is going to have color, it will be that because of what it's going to mean and the implications of it. You know, and the two people in it have a lot more pull to do that kind of stuff than, no offense to Finn Bálor or Edge. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I miss blood in WWE. In AEW, people will probably tell you they get too much blood. I mean, Jon Moxley sneezes and he blades. What the hell? But anyways, yeah, like if there's ever going to be a match to have blood, I don't see it being Hell in a Cell. I see it being the main event, and that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I can kind of see some blood happening in the IC title match. He bleeds. He bleeds. I can see it.
Yeah, that's true.
From all them chops. Oh God.
Look, if any color that we get all night is just going to be Sheamus lit up like a Christmas tree. Okay, I hate to say it that way, but what can you do? Richie Bailey, thank you, brother, for that super chat.
You.
We appreciate you very, very much. Let's move on to this one right here, folks. Big match.
Alex's favorite.
Alex's favorite. He waited his whole life for this one. His whole life. Come on back. Go on away, brother. Your boy, Logan Paul. The Paul brothers going against Seth freaking Rollins.
I could have worn my sweater.
You don't need to expound on it.
We already know your answer.
Just let us know your prediction.
But you can expound on it.
See, I was having a good time. No, look. In all seriousness, look.
It's on the card. It's on the card.
I can sit here all day and just completely obliterate everything representing who Logan Paul is. I know you guys have been following the news is about him scamming people because of this crypto scam, this crypto zoo scam, and a lot more that he's been doing with his brother. It's ridiculous. I just saw a report that Logan Paul's contract with WWE is only a year. So that means he will probably be ending it after WrestleMania. Hope it's true. No, but look here. I can give him a hard time. Logan Paul has been one of the best pickups that WWE has done. In all seriousness, he has surprised everybody with how good he is inside that ring. Holy crap. The fact that this man can do half the things that he does, and he just started wrestling a year ago, should piss off every wrestler in the back that's not getting TV time. It should light a fire under their butts. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those things where here's a celebrity, someone that's over for whatever reason. He gets reactions when he comes out. He's able to work programs with, oh my God, The Miz, with Roman Reigns, with Seth Rollins, with all these other people. I heard there was a rumor of him working a program with John Cena at SummerSlam. Jesus Christ. It's just one of those things where you look at someone like that, it really should show these men and women, hey, the reason why he's getting this TV time is because maybe it's because you're not doing what you need to do to get to that level. I'm just going to put that out there. And when it comes down to it, this is going to be perhaps one of the best matches of the weekend because of who's involved. Seth freaking Rollins is one of the most popular, most over talents. This is the hottest he's ever been since, dare I say, since 2018 when he was getting ready to fight Brock Lesnar. 2019, I believe, my bad, when he was fighting Brock Lesnar for the world title. This is the hottest he's been. And I know this match is going to get a huge crowd participation. I am expecting the crowd to sing that theme, sing that, what do you call it, the Seth Rollins battle theme, whatever the hell. And I think at the end of the day, Seth Rollins needs it because he hasn't won a WrestleMania match since he beat Brock Lesnar. He hasn't. He's lost all his WrestleMania matches. 2020, he lost to Kevin Owens. 2021, he lost to Cesaro, Claudio. And then last year, he lost to Cody. He needs this win against Logan Paul, especially if Logan's contract is expiring. I think Seth Rollins is getting this victory. What do you think?
Absolutely. 100%. Maybe we should wear our if Logan wins, we riot sweaters to SmackDown.
Do it.
You cannot give him a victory over Seth Rollins. You cannot. And the fact that the last two times they met, he knocked Seth out tells you that he will not have the victory. We know how WWE is. They're very formulaic. So, absolutely. Seth all day.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be a hell of a match. Absolutely. Logan Paul has surprised me. Not a fan of the Paul brothers in any way, shape, or form. I think we can all agree on that. But one thing I think we also can all agree on is Logan Paul he's skilled in the ring. He's taking it seriously in that respect. I think even more so than Ronda Rousey. At least he doesn't talk crap about the business. He may talk crap and just be crap, but he doesn't talk crap about the business.
Well, he also has learned the skill set of being in a ring and putting on a spectacle.
Right.
Where Ronda comes out and does Ronda, she does not come out and necessarily, she'll do a few submission moves, but you still aren't really getting away from being a UFC fighter and getting into what we all want to see. You know what I mean? Jump off a rope, do something. So I don't feel like she has invested herself in trying to make that transition into what this is.
Yeah.
Not to me.
Well, Logan Paul definitely has. I think it's going to be a great match, but I think you're right. Seth Rollins all day. He needs it more than anything. He needs it more than anything because let's just be honest here. Even if with the losses that he has had, and he can still take a loss and be okay, this crowd is in love with him more so than they've ever been, like you said.
Which is funny because when he was the visionary, we were like, what the hell does that mean?
What is the vision?
There was no answer. And yet he made it
into what it was.
Into whatever it is. And I don't even know what it is.
What is it? I don't know either.
But it's great.
So yeah, I definitely think that Seth needs his win in Mania. If in fact he is going to have a program with another person down the line, somebody else that may or may not be holding the championship belt, his stock is going to go up. Because losing, go to the back of the line.
Right.
It's been a minute since he's had some championship gold.
Yeah.
So we got to make it happen, Captain. We got a few more to go. Then we are going to wrap up. I think, what is the next one right here? Let's go to this one. Ooh, speaking of, I thank you to everybody that has been staying with us. Yes. We're going strong. Hit that like button. Yes. And we will get to some comments more towards the end. Thank you, guys. So here we go. Some haphazard stuff going on here. Some haphazard stuff. We have Natalia, French Natalia. Oh, she's got that French brain now.
Yeah, we.
No, yes, we. Going against Shotzi, I still say Blackheart, Liv Morgan, and what will always be in my heart, Raquel Gonzalez, but now Rodriguez. On the other side of the aisle, you have everybody's favorite Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Queen of Spades, who I personally love, Sonya Deville, love me some Sonya, and of course, Chelsea Green. And they're trying to pair up this poor lady with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes along. Carmella got injured. They went with Doudrop. I don't know what's going on with Chelsea Green, but she made it to Mania.
What is Ronda's? I thought Ronda was injured.
She is injured. I don't know
She's
what she's
fighting
going to do.
injured?
She's got an elbow issue. She's got a knee issue. I don't freaking know what she's going to do. If you saw her come out, she couldn't even lift her left arm. She didn't. It was. So I don't know what we're going to expect. But, good sir, what do you think?
Why would you even just do what we thought we was going to do here? I mean, looking at this match, you might as well just go ahead and give it to Ronda and Shayna. I'm sorry. Like, I could just end my prediction right there. Like, seriously, I love all the women in this match. I have nothing but respect for the talent and what they got here. This showcase, I guess that's what it's called, a showcase, right? Yes. But if we're talking about Ronda and Shayna fighting for those tag team titles, which was the plan, I don't know why that's not the plan now. Kind of weird. Then why would that change at all? If this is, I'm assuming this is for a shot at the tag team titles. Don't know if that's been confirmed or not, but I'm assuming that's what it is. Yeah,
I thought that they said that. I think that is what they said.
Well, then
it makes sense.
And then so for me, it's crazy. Ronda's, she was in the news recently because she went on a rant on Instagram saying that the creative for her feud with Liv Morgan was dog, booty. It's just one of those things where as much as she might be right about that statement, I'm completely agreeing with her because you know what I said earlier. It's also a thing where, really, Ronda, you're the one that's going to complain. You're the one that's going to complain about WWE creative. They are literally hand-feeding you everything, even when you're hurt. And for the record, B, she is wrestling injured. Just so we're clear, she's not 100%. She's gonna go into that match. Shayna will do most of the work, and she'll get some credit in there.
That's right.
And it is what it is.
Shayna will do all the work, and they'll bring her in to do a submission move on someone who's already down, and she won't actually have to do anything because of her injury.
Yeah,
exactly. But it is one of those things too where, I'm happy we're doing it because we're getting Liv on the card. That's someone that deserves to be at WrestleMania. Sonya, another one. Chelsea, love me some Chelsea Green. Love her carrying gimmick. It's amazing. Give me more of it, please. It's one of those things where it's a double-edged sword. I'm happy they're on the card, but I know who's gonna win. Right. And it's whatever, man. But yeah, my pick is Ronda and Shayna. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. As much as I wish it wasn't true, as much as I don't want it to be true, I think you're right. I mean, they didn't have to earn their spot. Everybody else had to fight for it, and they were like, we in it too. I mean, exactly. Because like you said, it's Ronda. And so they're going to just hand it to her. And Shayna was supposed to be that girl. And then when they came over, it was so stupid when they brought her up, what they did with her with. She's sitting here knocking people out. They're unconscious, and she's just waiting for the next cell door to open in the chamber. And I was like, this is dumb. Nobody wants to see you sitting around twiddling your thumb. Like, who? This is not entertaining to anybody. And then they take her off TV because they don't know what to do with her. They bring her back again. But I feel the same way I feel about Ronda that I feel about her. I don't think she's a great professional wrestling superstar. I'm sure she's good with the UFC fighting. Y'all could go fight in the UFC all you want to, but for what professional wrestling is, what I want to see, the Charlottes, the Rhea, the Bianca, the Asuka, y'all ain't it.
Right.
So I think they're going to get it, and I'm a little salty about it, but.
I hear y'all, but I got to disagree with y'all, homeboys.
Uh-oh. What?
I hate to say it, and on paper, yeah, I would say it should and probably would be Ronda and Shayna. However, she is injured, and it is a pretty not good injury. It's not something. This is not a long-term situation that you can continue wrestling like this. Right. She can't do it. She can't do it. She has to be attended to. She has to have some surgery, some rehab, whatever the case may be.
Oh, she needs surgery?
It's bad.
It's bad.
Oh, I didn't know it was that bad. Well,
so because of that, believe it or not, I'm going Team Chelsea.
Because of Sonya?
I'm going Team Chelsea.
Let's go.
But I'm going Team Chelsea and Sonya Deville.
I mean, they're clearly giving Chelsea a push. Because like you said, Carmella, whatever, was...
Yeah. Carmelina's in
here. We have a Carmelina in here. What up, Carmelina?
Hi, Carmelina.
Carmella, I got you.
They put her together. Carmella injured out. Bring a Doudrop. Okay, you're out. Okay, put in Sonya. I don't love them together. They don't make no sense together. But I wouldn't be mad at seeing a victory. I don't like that last minute thrown together thing. But sometimes we've gotten some good teams out of that.
Well, I don't like it either. But look, they try to do the whole Sonya Chelsea thing at first, and Sonya wasn't feeling it. Loved that because they're both heels, and the one heel was like, I don't want to play with that heel. And then that didn't happen. And then they brought him back, and then when it came out, they were like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Like Sonya did that. Okay.
Well, even at the end when Chelsea was like jumping and like, oh, I'm so happy. Sonya's like,
yeah.
Which does sometimes turn into a good chemistry when you're like.
So they're invested in this team. I cannot believe an injured Ronda. It's a shame. You're getting your WrestleMania moment. Everybody in here is getting their come-ups being on this card. But the long run as a tag team, there's no way.
I don't think I knew her injury was that bad. If her injury is that bad to where she can't really go on to actually get the titles, then that doesn't make sense to me.
But let's see what she does in the match, right? Like, let's see, because once that adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah, but then if you just re-injure yourself, then you're just going to have to go on. Like, even if she pulls a Cody and she still does decent.
Yeah.
Then you got to go out and do what you got to do to rehab. So then that wouldn't make any sense if this is a title shot.
No. This is, it might be ultimately.
If it's not a title shot, then I think they're just going to give it to him because of that. I still think it doesn't make any sense that they even put them in here. Why would you squeeze them in there if you're not going to give them the title? The win.
Dro, you said WWE confident securing the signature of both Jay White, Coda, Ibushi this Give Me Sport has some news on Triple H. Okay, well, we'll see what Triple H has got to say about that. Interesting. Very interesting.
Now, here we go.
We got 2 matches.
Here we go.
We got 2 matches left.
Here we go.
Now, you know that I've never gone against the bloodline. Never gone against the bloodline. Ever. But there's no way that they're not giving Sammy this moment. There's just no way. Sammy is getting this moment.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I just jumped. I just jumped ahead of you. I'm so sorry.
No. I think you doing that just goes to show you, because I agree with you. And it's powerful coming from someone who is big on the ones. Because what do I always say? Never bet against the bloodline.
Yeah.
Until now. Because here's the thing. Let's just call it like it is. Sami Zayn, he's the man. He's the MVP. He is the hottest act they got going in wrestling. His reactions these past, I'm not even gonna say the past few months. We know that. What about back in September? What about back in October? Around the time when fans would come out, do the Uzi chants. Everything that Sammy has been doing with the bloodline is next level. This is basically
gold.
It reminds me. I'm not gonna say it's just as good as the Attitude Era, but it reminds me of what we would get back then, and everything from him turning on Roman to his relationship with. Well, the relationship didn't start off pretty with him and Jay, but eventually they became bros, and then Jay feeling some type of way when Sammy turned on Roman. We didn't know where he was gonna go. until what we got when he decided with Jimmy. All of that was done to perfection, all the way up to Sami and Kevin Owens hugging each other. Everything that they have done with this storyline has been almost perfect. And so now,
this is all the writing team is investing in. That's why nothing else is getting done.
Right. Exactly. But we have to give credit where credit is due. The people involved have been killing it. I have never ever seen Jey Uso do the acting, the type of stuff that we've seen from him. That's the type of shit, the stuff that they do with Hollywood actors. This is some really, really good stuff that we're getting from everybody. And I think it's all going to come ahead to what I think should, and I really mean that, because I saw reports that Charlotte and Rhea could main event night one. As much as I adore Rhea Ripley, as much as I love Charlotte, and as much as I understand that, you know, the women Rumble match should main event night one, because that's been the argument, this needs to be the main event. This deserves to be the main event of night one, and I think it is. It has to be. And if you're going to have Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, fight Sami and Kevin in the main event in Los Angeles, you know the crowd's going to be hot for it. You know everybody's going to be looking for Sami to get his WrestleMania moment, a moment that has eluded him. It's one of those things where put up or shut up. And I'm sorry, I know that good mic work, and if you saw the predictions, you'll know good mic work actually picked the Usos. He was going for the Usos, and I was just like, that's interesting. But his thing is this, like, he believes the bloodline storyline is going to continue. I, on the other hand, kind of a spoiler for the main event, I think we're about to wrap up the bloodline storyline. I think this is coming to an end, and all good things must come to an end. And I think this match is going to lead into the main event for my prediction. And for that to happen, the Usos have to lose to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We will have new tag team champions. What do y'all think?
Well, I already jumped the gun and told you I agree with you. So,
okay, well, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Sami and KO win the titles.
Okay.
Do these remain unified championships?
They can't do this forever.
This is what I really want to know. Because, again, we had the brand split. We had different titles on different brands because you couldn't get over here. Technically, people are just popping on whatever brand they want to nowadays. I don't really know. But both the tag team titles and the heavyweight titles have been on the shoulders of the bloodline for hundreds of days now. No one else has gotten a crack at it. Everybody's been smashed and racked and stacked. Do you continue that under a KO Sami regime?
I think you have to unify the belts. You have to, if this is going to work. Do I see that happening? Probably, because I saw some reports about there being new titles. I'm not going to put much stock into that until I see it. That's one of those things where I'm like, I'll see it when I believe it. Man, I see people in the live chat even saying split those titles up.
The nickel belts. It's what we said. Just like you said, Dulcie, the nickel belts got to go. The belts themselves, we need a refresh. But I really got to know, what are we doing here? Are one team going to hold all the gold again?
See, here's the thing too. When I look at both tag team divisions on Raw and SmackDown, there aren't a lot of teams for us to really have two sets of belts right now. So maybe if we bring back Orton and Riddle, maybe if we bring back other, like I said, call up the Creeds, bring in Gargano and Ciampa. Okay, maybe we can somewhat argue splitting the belts up. I don't think we're in a position right now where we can really do that. And I don't know. I just feel like right now it should be unified. That's just me.
So what's your prediction?
My prediction. No. I was just curious. I want the swerve on this. And this is going to sound crazy. This is going to sound crazy, but here's what I mean by that. this whole Jay thing, there was always this talk about this has been Jay's story, not Roman's story.
Yeah.
One of our highest viewed videos is the Hell in a Cell match that Roman had with Jay.
Oh, wow.
Jay was beat into submission to the point his brother had to throw in the towel. You had your brother come back after a year of absence of an injury. He had a whole shirt, the shirt that we rock to this day. And like within a week, he just turned, did an about face, and just fell in line along with the bloodline. At least he had to get beat down like Jay did. This whole thing happens where Sammy hits him. Jay's conflicted, leaves. We don't know what's going on for weeks. And all of a sudden, you know, I'm with you. I hug you, super kick you. What do you think? But then he gets into this conversation with Roman. He's like, I love you.
I love you.
That's how he said. He said, he's like, I love you. And Jay was just all like, yeah, all right. And just down. We didn't get anything with that.
Right.
I'm still unsettled with where Jay stands.
Okay.
I don't buy it.
Wow.
And
How does that work in this prediction, though?
getting there. I also think that the bond, because it took a minute to get over that mountain between Sammy and Jay. I think there's a bond there that's stronger than we are led to believe. But I also think the overall arc, and I'm going to get to my point right now, the entire bloodline collapses. Everybody loses their titles on this Mania card. Unprecedented.
Right.
Unprecedented for that to actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think KO and Sammy should win these titles. But I got to be honest with you. I cannot see the entire bloodline collapsing in night 1 and night 2.
Could Mike Ward said the same thing?
I can't see it because if Roman really is going to take a break, if he's really going to step back after this, you can't have the titles gone. You just can't. So that, my prediction will be, I can see a title change there. But then what? Like it's been the bloodline for how long now?
3 years.
Everything has been, the whole house has been under the bloodline umbrella. And now we're gonna just what? We're gonna end this? I don't know.
All good things must come to an end, though. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You can't ride that train forever. We can't even get Roman to
but
show up.
Solo just came
and
up.
It's WrestleMania week. How?
And they were just now. Jay was just talking about a she. What's she talking about? Remember, Jay was like, she said, we're talking. Remember,
No.
We don't know what that she is, but I'm saying like you're throwing the stuff out to me that just I don't know. I think the Usos are going to retain.
Into the next prediction because they all tie in together.
Yeah, I say the Usos retain.
Wow.
But I don't know. Let's go over here. Let's get to the last match right here.
Oh boy, here we go.
Let's get to the last match right here.
Oh man.
Because I'm gonna tell you like this, baby. Let me tell you, baby. Huh? For 40 years, I was fighting up and down the Carolinas, find out no good for nothing, Ric Flair. Now his daughter's over here. You tell me his daughter's gonna lose that championship to Rhea Ripley, baby? I don't see it happening. So now my son is gonna come over here. He went from AEW, went from Gold Dust, built a house over here. He comes back home just to lose to Roman Reigns? Nah, baby. I don't see it happening.
Wow.
Talk to us, Just Alyx. Talk to us.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, If we would have done this even a week ago, I would have been like, you out your damn mind if you think Roman gonna drop that dub to Cody. We're talking about someone who, as of today, as of March 26, what was it, 28? Yeah, March 28, 2023, Roman is 950 40 days reigning as your undisputed world champion. 940. Do you guys know the last person to have this many days as a world champion happened in the 80s? We're talking about the Hulkster, brother.
Yep.
Over 1,000 days. That's the last person. That's the last person to hold this. And Roman is literally 60 days away from making history.
Yeah.
Meaning, if he, let's just say he beats Cody. If he makes it to June, that's 1,000 days. When is the next time we see something like that? I don't see it ever happening again. Not in this lifetime.
It's like the Undertaker streak. We're not going to see a 20-year Mania streak like that again, ever.
That's it. So to me, you got to understand where I'm coming from here. We're talking about something that is monumental. When Roman Reigns eventually does lose, and it's going to happen, that is going to be a moment you cannot replicate. When he loses, you can't just be like, okay, well, it didn't work out. We're going to put the belts back on him. No, you can't do this with Roman. You can't just go another 3 years and give the belt back to Roman. It's not that type of thing. When Roman loses, that's it. Whoever beats him has to be that guy. Someone that is a must-see person who you say, all right, he's on the card. You sell out in the ring. No, you sell out a stadium because he's on the card. Someone who elevates every single person he fights to the next level. Someone that is going to sell merchandise. Someone that is going to be like, all right, when I think about WWE, I think of Hulk Hogan. I think of Stone Cold. I think of John Cena. I think of Roman. I think of, you know what I mean? And I've been battling, is Cody Rhodes that guy? And understand me, I'm not telling you that Cody is not a main event player. Oh, God, no. Cody is well-deserving, undeniably so, a main attraction. He really is. There are kids at the theater that I go to wearing American Nightmare t-shirts. Yeah. Seriously, he is over. He is over like Rover. But is he the guy to beat Roman Reigns? And if you asked me that question last week, I'd be like, hell no, he isn't. Then I think about what we've been talking about. Jey Uso. I think about the storyline with Sami and Kevin. I think about all of the roads, no pun intended, leading to WrestleMania. Yeah. And the stories are converging. And when it's all said and done, the only way for this to end is for Jey Uso to get his butt in that ring when Roman's not looking, just like Seth Rollins, just like Sami Zayn. Bow! Chair shot to the back. Roman gets hit with the finisher from Cody Rhodes. 1, 2, 3, and new world champion. I can't believe I'm saying it. Your new world champion will be the son of a plumber, Cody Rhodes. And you know what? If he's not that dude, he better get ready because he's going to be given that spot. If Cody gets this spot, he better be ready to carry it. So as much as I still don't buy Cody as that guy yet, I'm hoping when it's all said and done, I'll be able to turn around and be like, yeah, Cody is that dude. But that's just how I feel. I think Cody, the storyline comes to an end. The bloodline comes to an end at WrestleMania with the hands of Cody Rhodes.
So what you're basically saying is Jey Uso is going to put the bloodline on hard times, Daddy.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
But if not Cody, who? There's no one else in the WWE universe that remotely is worth conversation to be the one to take it from Roman if they weren't going to let that be Brock. Right? And I agree with your prediction with one swerve. I think it would be Solo to chair shot him.
Wow.
She said it.
I said it.
She said it.
He been punking Solo out. And I think it's going to be Solo. And
Spike?
And his brothers will stand by him.
Dang. That would be quite a swerve, though. I wouldn't see that one coming.
You know, look, this is tough. This is tough because, like I said several times, I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
Right.
But I'm having an even harder time believing that the champions are all going to lose and the Roman Empire, the tribal chief, the island of relevancy is going to completely crumble and disintegrate. Somebody in the bloodline has got to retain. If it's not the Usos, it's got to be Reigns. I can most certainly see if the Usos lose on night 1, Jay shows up by himself on night 2, and you have a similar situation like you had with Sammy. Cody's against the ropes. Maybe the referee got knocked out. He hands him the chair. Something happens. I would even love to see Sammy come out after that. Maybe give him a hug or something. You gotta plug in. You built it this way. You gotta keep it going.
So I'm confused. So you think the Usos are going to retain, but Roman's going to lose it?
I'm saying I cannot believe the bloodline overall will lose their championships. I can't believe it.
That's why it's brilliant, because nobody really believes that's going to happen. And isn't it about the ultimate swerve? Isn't it about everybody being in their feelings?
It is. But like Alex said, we're talking about a historic championship run here.
Good luck. Hello. Who are you talking to? You think I want to go against the bloodline?
Championship run.
I'm just telling you, this is what looks like is playing out to me. This is a prediction show.
I want to see. I say Reigns because everybody expects Cody to win this because it's his story. Because he won the Royal Rumble, which I hated the way that it was done.
Yeah, that was stupid.
So everything up to this point, they fast-tracked this to get here. And I do not feel that he is, I don't feel like Cody's, it's like we've been cooking and we're cooking beans and these beans are a little too al dente. Cody's a little too al dente. This is a new Cody. This is not the Stardust Cody. This is not even really the AEW Cody.
It's kind of the AEW Cody.
It's
you can't just dismiss everything he did.
You have your time. Let me speak. Hang on. Let me
My bad.
All right.
Whoa, brother.
Anything that he did. All I'm saying is this Cody Rhodes is he's got to simmer a little bit.
Yeah.
When I mean by simmer, I can see a loss at Mania, a dejected Cody, a crying kids in the audience because their superhero lost, and we're going to see a new, just invigorated spirit, and maybe we get Roman get that historic 1,000 days, and they run it again a few months down the line, and then Cody gets that.
You know what's crazy? There was a report that this was from Fightful Select actually, that Triple H, even now, a week out from WrestleMania, still does not know who's going to win this match. They don't know yet who to go over.
They're waiting for this show.
But here's the thing, like, this is a very, very important match. This is literally, again, you can't redo this type of thing with Roman if he loses.
Yeah, once you drop that torch, you can't pick it back up.
Exactly. And if we're a week out and they're still kind of iffy, meh, when it comes to Cody, and you guys know this, people who worked in the business world, there is no, maybe, no, it's either a yes or we're not doing it, right?
Right.
I kind of agree with A in a sense where it's just like, we don't really know. Like, is Cody that guy? WWE apparently, if they knew, we would know. We would already be like, okay, don't even worry about it. We already know what's going to happen. If reports are coming out saying that they don't know yet, maybe Cody isn't that dude. You know what I mean?
Because also, he beat Solo. So you made a big thing about his undefeated streak. And I'm going to say this again. You made a big deal about his undefeated streak. Even Cody mentioned his undefeated streak. I'm undefeated. Okay, you got that. This goes back into what I was saying with Undertaker and Brock. You had a 20-year run, undefeated streak. Nobody can touch you. That was a mistake. Never should have happened.
Right.
Never should have had that streak broken at WrestleMania. It was what it was.
Right.
And what happened after that? Was that it for The Undertaker? Did he retire? No. They brought him back because he was a Mania staple, but it didn't have the same feel to it. It wasn't the same. The mystique was gone. You dig what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is for here, you had all this time undefeated, you beat Soul's undefeated streak. Everything is pointing to you beating Roman Reigns for the title. And I'm saying the swerve is no.
Then the swerve that I would agree with on that is if they have, listen up, Triple H. If they have Solo interfere, hit Cody with a chair, Roman wins by DQ, so like, or loses by DQ, but you don't lose the belt, but you got the loss. So then he starts, what are you doing to Solo? And then Solo turns on Roman. So you do disintegrate the bloodline. Roman is still champion, but he has the loss.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think people will riot if we have a
DQ in the main event of WrestleMania, though. I don't know about that one.
I don't know. People might lose their minds on that one. That might get Adam Pearce out there. Hold on, just a minute.
Just a minute.
That might get Teddy Long. Just a minute, player.
Hold on a minute, player. Yeah, yeah, come on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, I expect some kind of shenanigans. There have to be. Bloodline has to be involved in this. Even perhaps Sami Zayn to some degree.
Absolutely.
I see something. But I'm having.
But you say Roman retains.
I'm telling you, man, I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind.
I'm having a hard time with this too. I didn't come to this conclusion easily, and I'm not 100% set on it.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask people in the comments.
Yeah.
Has there been, and I don't know, I'm not versed on everything. Has there been a WrestleMania where every single title that was defended had changed? Does anybody know?
I've seen all the WrestleManias. Honestly,
I feel like we would know that if that happened. Like it would come to mind. Like remember that year when every title changed, bro? Like changed. I feel like we would know.
Because I'm dead serious. We have big titles on the line. We have both titles: IC title, heavyweight title, tag team title.
You know what? Hey, no, there's never been a WrestleMania where every title has changed hands. No, there hasn't been one.
I cannot. So this is. I'm thinking long game here. I'm thinking history here. I'm having a hard time with it. I'm having a hard time with it. I sooner say the bloodline would disintegrate before every title changes hands on a Mania card.
So
I'm having a hard time with this.
Real quick. The live chat is telling me WrestleMania 35. And
WrestleMania 35. Every title changed hands.
Every title, like not just the world titles, but women's mid cards.
WrestleMania 35. Every title changed hands on that one.
Are we sure?
I'm gonna look that up.
Thank you. I was going to do the same thing. But okay, well, let me ask you this, while she's doing that, because clearly me and you are at odds here, and I think Cody's going to win begrudgingly because I still think Roman is the guy. But so here's the thing: Roman wins, right? Roman holds the belt, breaks the record, 1,000 days, huge, never been done before. Do you revisit this at SummerSlam, and then at SummerSlam, is that when you put the belt on Cody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because in NXT
it wasn't everyone. It was 8 out of 10.
That's what I thought.
8 out of 10 titles change hands. Okay, 8 out of 10 titles change hands. Okay. Yeah, no, look, I like the term grizzled young veterans. Grizzled young veterans. I like that. I want Cody. Look, we chastised Ronda Rousey because she was handed everything. We are doing the same thing with Cody Rhodes. He walked in at number 30 in the Royal Rumble match. You couldn't even make him number 20. You couldn't give him number
Okay.
21.
That's one example.
What I'm saying.
Nobody has fought with an injury like he did and put himself what he did through to where we were all going like this trying to watch it.
That's what I'm saying.
Give him credit.
That's what I'm trying to get at. What I'm saying is, since his return, to me, it just seems like the red carpet was rolled out. Just walk right on up to WrestleMania. I have a problem with that. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying I want to see him. I want to see that pector situation, just the heart. I lost on the grandest stage of them all. I let my dad down. I let my brother down. I just let the WWE Universe down. Like, I want to see him in tears.
You want to see that struggle.
I want to see Roman get that 1,000 days.
Yeah.
But I want to see him running back at SummerSlam when then he, to me, it really felt like he earned this.
Yeah.
Because he's undefeated right now. Let's snap that undefeated streak. Roman once again smashes, racks, not easy, but does it. Snap the undefeated streak. You go on to 1,000 days. You now have a more determined Cody than ever. He's not playing around. And you get SummerSlam, which really is a big pay-per-view, gets that title. That's what I want to see. I just have an issue with the red carpet treatment. That's all.
And you're saying he hasn't really struggled enough. And the Cody Rhodes character, what made him work in AEW was a ton of struggle, a lot of struggle. His first match for that world title, if you lose, you will never get a world title match in AEW. That caveat is what got him over 1,000%. I agree with you.
No struggle here.
But that's just discounting all the years he struggled and did Stardust and came out with a bag over his face.
And that's what he was talking about this entire time.
But Brock Lesnar left and came back and got the red carpet laid out for him.
I'm not discounting that. But Brock Lesnar also, it hasn't been like just straight wins. Like, he had this, I love the tractor bit that he had with Roman Reigns.
When he first came back.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
to be fair, Brock did lose against Cena.
Since his return,
yeah,
it's just because in the kayfabe of things is what I'm getting at. It's like, why did you have anybody in the Royal Rumble match anyway? He was going to be number 30. We all knew he was going to win. Yeah. So what? We're just here to see some good wrestling.
Isn't that what we're here for?
No, but I'm saying in the spirit of this,
yeah,
you want to see somebody earn it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it just seems like since his return, it's just been red carpet.
I guess we're just going to disagree on this point. I think you're discounting his entire career and then him building a showcase for himself up from scratch up that's extremely successful just so he could come back and get the respect that he needed to prove himself. And
told you we didn't agree on everything.
So yeah, I just disagree with you on that. But I'm not gonna be mad if Roman retains. I'm bloodline all day. Don't be mad. I'm just saying I've got much respect for Cody, and it sucks that he was out injured as long as he was. But
that's what it is.
That's what ruined it.
If he wasn't injured,
he would have had
this
the time.
Would have been different.
Yeah.
So it's the fast track that I have a problem with.
They're fast tracking him because of the injury more so than just because he's
that's why I get taken out of the kayfabe. To me, it's the equivalent of seeing somebody phone it in the ring. Like you have somebody who clearly is a skilled wrestler like Natalya. You're not unskilled. You're not. But you're just inconsistent. I don't want to see you phone it in just because.
But then you have that still going on with Brock Lesnar, because even though he cheated us out of the match both times with him and Bobby, he's still getting his WrestleMania moment, and Bobby's not.
No.
So I'm saying that they already do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And within the kayfabe of things.
Yeah.
That if he wasn't injured, who knows how the road to him and Mania would have gone.
Right.
It just seems like since his return, it's like, okay, look, we're going to fast track you. So let's get on this bus and let's just get going.
But we all knew that. The minute he went out injured, we said he'll be back in time for Royal Rumble, and that will set him up with Roman. We all knew that.
And that's why I have a problem with it.
Because you knew it.
Because he should have entered 17, 18. You know, yeah, it wasn't like a 5-minute thing. Like he entered number 30, but it's like immediately, like you know, like with Rhea Ripley, she entered number 1.
Right.
Number 1. So by the time that thing was over, you're like, you earned this.
Yeah.
You fought through 29 other people. You earned that spot. With him, I didn't get that feeling. That's all I'm saying. So,
and I feel like,
oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, Alex. A, stop being so hard on Cody, or I'm going to call Uncle Elroy. Oh, dang.
oh damn.
Elroy. Everybody loves Elroy.
Yeah. Let me just say this really quickly, and
Thank you.
Yeah, let me just say this really quickly. I feel like when it comes to Cody, and this is something we gotta give him credit for too. Cody came to WWE because he knew what it was going to look like for him. He already knew, like, WWE is getting one of the EVPs, one of the founders of AEW.
Right.
Why would they waste this opportunity to push someone like that? Because this is what happens. You get someone like that, and you get him, and you screw him up. That's not good look. That's not good optics for anybody that wants to jump ship. But with what they're doing with Cody, what's happening now is that a lot of AEW talents are looking at what's happening with Cody, and this has been reported for almost a year now, and they're going, okay, if Cody is doing that well, and I'm over here in AEW barely getting TV time, Tony's not really featuring me, I don't feel special, I'm not really all that important to the brand, but here's WWE still looking for talent, still having all this room. I think Cody is taking advantage of right place, right man at the right time, and I honestly think that because of him coming in when he did, you know, whether he deserves or has earned it or not, he's going to get it. And I especially, you know, despite the fact that, you know, Roman is going to be taking a break after this as well. If he's going to be on a break, then you probably don't need to have him continue to hold those belts. The championships need to be.
I'm going to see him anyway.
Yeah, and honestly, the championships, I said the tag team belt should be unified. The world titles, they have to be split. We need both world champions on Raw and SmackDown. So if Cody's going to keep the WWE championship, the Universal Championship goes to SmackDown, I think that's just going to make the shows better overall. And again, right place at the right time for Cody, and that's why I think ultimately this is going to be his win at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I would feel okay with it if there was, like we said, I think we all agree there's going to be some kind of shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
I would love to see some shenanigans happen that actually cost Cody. I think the only way that I think people would be okay, quote unquote, with Cody losing is if there was cheated out of this, so that just immediately opens the door for a rematch at SummerSlam.
Right.
Like,
but then what are we talking about? We're talking about a champion having a belt from WrestleMania, and we probably won't see him again until SummerSlam.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that. But that's also the problem.
Taking a break.
Honestly, that's the reason that I have an issue with the Austin Theory John Cena match, because I want to see them run it back at SummerSlam. You know, watching you guys, I think it was Good Mic Work who said John Cena will probably be on the plane before the second match of the night.
Yep,
that sucks to me. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, he never hangs out to support his fellow. He really does that.
He really bones out. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a fine match, but it's just like
The Rock is like that too, though. The Rock
I want to see, but at least him and Cena did it twice.
Right.
At least they did it twice. Yeah. At least Undertaker did it twice. Triple H, Shawn Michaels. I'm not saying go a year, but I think you can give us a few months. They're paying Cena handsomely. You know this.
Yeah.
You know this. He was able to carve out some time in his busy schedule. Mr. DJ Dwayne Johnson couldn't figure it out. Okay. Tired of talking about him, his bald-headed whiskey.
Let's not go there. Right.
Tequila, not whiskey. Get it right.
He doesn't drink any water anymore. I'm concerned about his kidneys.
He only drinks tequila.
He's only about that Terramana.
You used to only see him with Voss water. Now you only see him with Terramana.
It was Voss water. Then it was Zoa energy drink. Now it's just tequila and every shot.
It don't matter if it's 8 in the morning, 8 at night. He just shoot tequila.
Pee and acid, battery acid. We got a super chat right here from Ronwell Nagales. Thank you very much. Please have Alex wish me a happy birthday since tonight was my 24th birthday.
Oh.
Good sir. It's up to
Well,
you.
first off, sir, I'm happy that you joined such, in my personal opinion, such an amazing, probably one of the greatest prediction shows that you'll see here on YouTube for your 21st birthday. And first off, yes, happy birthday to you. I'm glad that you were able to hopefully celebrate it enough with us. I don't know if you getting you a little bit of some liquor courage in there as well, but look here, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Look here, man. Happy birthday, Ronwell. I'm happy that you were here to be in this safe space. And I hope that you are definitely going to be watching WrestleMania along with us and you are going to be enjoying it. Because I thought, honestly, after all this, I feel more excited for the show. How do you guys feel? Because after talking about it, sometimes people get a little bit more excited, you know?
You know what? You got me a little hyped, Alex. You got me a little hyped. I'm not even gonna lie.
Because it's, you know, it's up in the air. I don't think it's just as clear cut as we all are making it out to be.
Right.
We know what Triple H is capable of. It's very obvious to us. We see some sticky fingers McMahon all over some stuff. That just changes things.
Right.
It changes the dynamics a little bit. So I like that, not knowing that they're really not sure up until the last minute.
That's kind of makes it exciting anyway.
That's going to be good. I think out of all of this, at the end of this, I think we're going to have some mad people. We're going to have some sad people.
Either way.
It can't be helped. It can't be helped. But that's what wrestling is. If you are not, man, if these people come out of it not feeling some way, they're not doing their jobs right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Man, happy birthday, Ronwell. Well, I want to just go ahead and thank Just Alyx of Alex's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like everybody up in this chat, everybody that's going to be watching this in the YouTube universe, and for us as well. Just Alyx, please, brother, tell us, what do you have coming up, good sir?
Well, guys, I have a full week of content for you on Alex's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Please like the video, subscribe, and of course, click that bell, but also check me out on my channel. Tomorrow, AEW Dynamite. I'll be doing a live stream of that. This Thursday, check this out. I'll be doing the top 10 greatest WrestleMania matches from my personal opinion. That will be a live. Yeah, that's going to be a video upload on Thursday. And of course, Friday is SmackDown, the Hall of Fame. We'll do a live stream of that. And you already know, this weekend, big old WrestleMania. Night 1, night 2 review. And let me tell y'all something. After that, your boy's going to need a break because that is a lot to talk about.
Roman Reigns break?
Look here, I didn't even mention NXT Stand and Deliver or the ROH Supercard of Honor show. There is so much wrestling content.
So much going on.
Yeah, and your boy's going to be talking about it all in Alex's World, Just Alyx. So check me out, man. I'm also on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, TikTok. For I am the tickest of the talkest, of course. And then, yeah, man, that's basically it. Y'all know what it is. Most of the people that watch you, I think, are also watching me. Our fans seem to overlap, I noticed.
They commingle. There's some commingling going on. And
it's all family. It's all family.
To everybody that wasn't normally in our lives, who's on Alex's, you jumped over here. We appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed it. For our OGs, you already know. We love and appreciate everybody. To the super chatters, thank you guys for supporting us the way that you do. Everything that you give goes right back into the channel. Literally every single thing. We want to bring the best content that we can to you. And like Just Alyx said, for this weekend, we will be at SmackDown and the Hall of Fame ceremony live, bringing it to you. We'll be one of the few people in the audience that's wearing a mask, but our masks will be light up masks. Wow. And it'll be saying A&B combo, so you can pick us out in this crowd. And then we will be back here doing a live watch along for night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania to see if our predictions are going to hit. I'm telling you, man, I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is we're going to talk about it afterwards. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm wrong.
You hope you're right and you hope you're wrong. That says it all, y'all.
But we appreciate you, Alyx. Thank you so much for your love and support.
Thank you.
And for coming on the show, sharing this. This was fun.
This was fun.
This was thought-provoking. And we're going to be talking after this because, you know, you don't say some things.
I feel like you should go out with the Razor Ramon entrance because most of the people didn't see it and it was awesome. I don't even think, Alex, could you even hear what he was saying on the Razor Ramon thing?
I heard it just fine. I was there.
Oh, I didn't know you could hear it. Okay.
Yeah, he heard it. Well, people can play it. You can watch it.
It was so funny.
You know, all right. She wants me to play it again. I want to play it again one more time. This is just the beginning. Check it out, folks, for those that missed it.
Hey yo, my name is Razor Ramon. I come from the gutter, Chico, but as you can see, I'm dripping in gold and I'm oozing machismo. And we are here to do a collab with Just Alyx of Alyx's World. And let me tell you something, Chico. The big mate and the medium-sized mate, if you're not here, we're gonna carve you up.
So that was the open. We just had a little fun because I love doing Razor Ramon. I love doing the impressions overall. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We went almost 3 hours.
Good golly.
3 hours.
And someone wanted to go an hour and a half. She was like, "We're not gonna do past an hour and a half." I'm like, "I don't know."
You know, my back be hurting. I'm like, ooh. But you know what? It was fun. It was so much fun, Alex.
Yeah, you made this stream for us as well as everybody in here. So thank you, Alex. We appreciate you.
And I appreciate you guys for inviting me on to do this with you. The next time we do it, you know we gotta make it a party, right? Man, we gotta bring in some other names here in the community because I know, hey, I know a couple of people who might be fans of A and B combos that you yourselves don't know about, but you might be like, hey, really? Y'all like A and B combos?
What's yours in here? All right.
That would be fun.
I'm all about community, working and spreading the love and bringing more notoriety to more people here in the wrestling community. Because for so long, it's always been me, Solid Monster, JD, Good Mike Work, Denise Southside, and all them. There's so many great content creators that deserve a lot more love, and you guys are one of them, and I mean that. Okay. And so whatever I can do.
No, we appreciate that. We're all family, man. We all love the same thing,
So stick around after we're done, man. We're gonna chop it up real quick to everybody else. Thank you guys so much for joining A and B Combos Wrestling Edition with special guest Just Alyx of Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans. That is it for us. And as always, we bid you
adieu.
On behalf of Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher, want to say goodbye? Oh, now you got nothing to say.
All right.
Storm afterwards. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.